Revel in the cheesy glory of the all-new, limited time only, triple cheeseburger at Red Rooster. What are you waiting for?
It's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local.
Contest.
Absolutely, and also on his pre-game debut, Ryan Long.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, it's good to be here. I haven't been here since for a few years, and it was raining the last time I was here. It was freezing. I said I'd never come back, but look at it, the sun's out. Beautiful day, and should be a good game of footy.
What was the reason you came out last time? Have a kick?
No, yeah, probably juniors footy actually. So even more than a few years ago.
There you go, mate. Now. Absolutely, it is a picture, isn't it, today, Brash, out here? It's a beautiful day. Actually, being in Coldstream is favouring us. A little bit cooler, a bit more comfortable. The ground's looking a picture. They're probably the best I've seen it in years, and despite being very, very big ground, it's been some pretty good footy. We've watched a bit of the 19s and the reserves so far today, so what a day.
Yeah, it is, and it's a great day. And yeah, look, it's been very competitive so far. It's a great crowd out here as well. That's one of the things I like, and you know. All's looking good for a big contest, Savo. Really looking forward to it.
Exactly. We will talk more about this game in due course, but we've got limited time, of course, with the hour pre-game show here on the SEN app and on Facebook and YouTube. So let's jump straight into Premier Division, and it's a bit of an innocuous round, isn't it? Not too many games that really jump out as absolute blockbusters, gents, but there's a few interesting runs. And the two we want to sort of talk about, North Ringwood Doncaster East intrigues me at the bottom of the ladder a little bit, Brash, not too much, but some interesting, a chance for North Ringwood to get their first win. They're debuting Harry Flynn, 16-year-old boy, who's a talented cricketer as well as footballer in the Eastern Rangers program, playing juniors, won a few league best and fairest. He gets his debut today. And Doncaster East will be first game away from home in the Premier Division without Sam Rowe.
Yeah, that's a big loss for Doncaster East. Sammy Rowe out after kicking 8 goals last week. It might even the game up a little bit with him not being there this afternoon.
Yeah, Ryan, you were there last week to watch Rowe dominate on one leg. What do you suspect, the bigger ground, and without him, Doncaster East might take a little while to settle?
Yeah, definitely. And you also got throw in Appleby as well, who did a hamstring last week. There are a couple of big outs for them. And also the fact that Doncaster, who they played against, probably aren't going to be a very competitive side, or competitive in the sense that they're not a final side. So you take away that, you bring in North Ringwood, who are desperate for a win, really need to get on the board. I think it's a pretty even game, and I actually think North Ringwood might be able to get up today.
Absolutely. That's probably where I'm leading, despite the fact we saw North Ringwood, Doncaster East, pretty much dominate from siren to siren last week. I think North Ringwood, both sides struggle by foot this year. There are a lot of turnovers from each team, and I think Doncaster East have been able to get away with it, playing on the smaller ground out there at Zerby's Brash, and I think the bigger ground they might have a few more scores off the back of their turnover, so I'm going with the Saints as well.
Yeah, look, I'm just having I want another week to look at North Ringwood. One thing I am encouraged about is the fact that I think North Ringwood, when they recruited Billy Schilling to the club, they tried playing him off a half-back flank.
Yeah, as a marking defender.
Yeah, he's not a defender.
He made his name as a goal kicking.
Yeah, and if he's back, and I'm hoping that he's back playing down at full forward, because that's his best position, and that's where he gives the best value. I think Apemus at centre half forward gives him a target, down
around
the field,
ground,
around the ground, and obviously the run of Nahas off the half-back flank. He'll create a little bit of havoc. I'm going to go with Doncaster East again this afternoon. Like I said, but I'm not going to be terribly surprised if North Ringwood get the points.
Absolutely. Other games, as we mentioned, Baldwin and Berwick. That's the one of the biggest road trips in the competition now.
Yeah.
From very, very east to inner east. You'd suspect the Tigers win that one comfortably. Doncaster play Blackburn at Shrams. Blackburn should win that one easily. No Park South Croydon's a little bit more interesting. South Croydon we saw on Sunday, gents. Very, very good side, but Noah Park keep game's close. They're playing a defensive possession style of footy, which means I wouldn't be surprised if this one's still in the balance heading into the last quarter, but the Dogs should win.
Yeah, look, I was really impressed with South Croydon last week. They played Moreton Park extremely well. Their attack on the contest was ferocious. They had numbers around the ball, and I actually think the ground, I think the ball ring actually is going to suit their game style even better today.
A bit more space to make the ground big, Ryan.
Yeah, defensively, I think Nerval Park's pretty good, but I'm just worried about their forward line being able to pick a winning score. I mean,
and no Ziggy Orwin today hurts as well. He was a guy who's taken a lot of marks this year. I think he's leading the comp, if not up there in the comp in terms of marks taken. And to have him missing in the forward half is a big one.
Before we move on, Matty, could we just quickly go back to the Ball and Berwick game?
Of course, mate.
I think it'd be remiss of us if we didn't mention the fact that Berwick have been hit hard with injuries at the moment, and I was reading a piece during the week that their captain Luke Shepherd is basically looks like
he did his
Achilles after coming off a knee reconstruction in 2019, and there's actual talk now that he may not even be able to play football again. And I think that's a really hard and bitter pill for a fledgling club.
So are they saying that is it the same leg?
No, I don't know. They didn't
specify. Yeah.
But they're saying the way the article was written was it could be career ending for him.
That's shattering news because he's meant to be an absolute star, and that's 3 years now in a row where he hasn't been able to really get a run on. And Bryce Rutherford, their other co-captain, is still struggling to come back, and he's had 3 years missing from football too. So they have been hurt.
Yeah, and obviously they get Travis Tuck back today, and I think Riley Headings comes back into the...
Yeah, Heddles comes back, but they did lose another... And there was another injury early in the game too. So they have been injury hit after their impressive performance.
But like you said, I think the longest road trip when you're not bringing your best side with you for the long drive, it could be a long afternoon for them.
It could be a very, very long one for them, but not only in the car but also at the ground.
Yep.
As I said, just to point to that, Noah Park had 320 disposals to Vermont's 230 last week, so that shows how much they like to keep the ball. But the game we are going to talk about in the Premier Division is Roeville and that side, Vermont. Vermont yet to hit top gear, Brash, and you were talking to me in the car trip down here to Coldstream today that you think our expectations on Vermont might be a little bit high given the turnover they've had.
Yeah, look, as an outsider looking in, and obviously been involved in the club for so many years, when you've had such a big turnover of players, and there's obviously debuting players which they've got in the opening couple of rounds, it's all incumbent on your senior players. I'm just thinking, look, if they get a couple of key injuries to a couple of their midfielders, or they lose a Matty Wilcox, it's going to destabilise the side a little bit. I just sort of feel with so many young players coming in, and when you play at Vermont, there's always that expectation, Matt, that that you're going to put your best foot forward. I'd be taking this game. This is a 50-50 game for me. In the past, if they had the squad in 2019, I'd say Vermont would win this game quite comfortably. But inevitably, when these two sides play down at Seabeck Reserve, they're usually a game that's decided by under a goal. And I think I'm going to tip Vermont again this afternoon, but it's going to be by less than a goal.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Vermont have always had such good depth, despite all the losses that they've had, and you see the under-19s, a few of them coming up. I think it would just take a bit of time to hit their full straps, but I'd still expect them to be a finals contender in that sort of 4th to 5th sort of position if they can't crack any further. They lost to Baldwin. Was it Baldwin first week? By
2 points.
2 points. So and then,
nothing to really worry about, I reckon.
No, and I think
they'll make finals, but I think like you're both saying that maybe we need to maybe not think of them as that super side from 17, 18, 19, and they might have come back to the pack a bit.
But is there just on that in the Premier Division? Looking at the ladder, it's so early to be talking about this. But is there a standout side?
Not
is it
yet.
South Croydon, or is this one of the even leagues that we've got at the moment?
Well, I think from the 4 sides that I've seen, South Croydon's been the best of the 4 that we've seen in Premier League so far.
Yeah, quite easily. Norwood would have impressed me, but we haven't seen them yet, so it's hard to get a read on them. And they're always good at pumping their own tyres, but they're doing very, very well. Got that win against Baldwin last week, and they've got the bye, so I think they'll be hoping that, maybe Rowville can pinch another win and push Vermont to 1 and 2.
Yep.
They'll be hoping probably that Noble Park can produce something against South Croydon. But, yeah, it's interesting. So quick tips in Premier Division. I'm going Baldwin, South Croydon, North Ringwood, Blackburn and Vermont. Have you boys... I know Brash has had his time, so we'll leave Ryan to last. Brash, your tips, mate, for Premier Division?
I got Baldwin, South Croydon, Doncaster East, Blackburn and Vermont.
There you go, and Ryan's quickly doing his.
Yep, I've got Baldwin, South Croydon, North Ringwood, Blackburn over Doncaster and Vermont as well.
So just Doncaster East for Brash, the only difference there. So we'll keep a watchful eye on that as the day progresses. Division 1 is usually quite an even division, but so far this year, Brash, we've seen it almost divided into 3. We've got 3 undefeated teams, 3 teams on 2 and 1, and then 4 teams yet to register a win. The most disappointing of them probably Wantirna South, given their off-season recruiting, and they haven't really hit the scoreboard at all this year.
Yeah, and that's a worry early on. When you look at most games, Matt, you've got to score at least 80 points a match just to be competitive. They're not even near that at the moment, and that's a worry. 3 games in with the squad, I still take into consideration it's still a very young squad, which probably doesn't have a lot of senior experience there at the moment, and I still think they're still trying to find their way. However, they need to find their way pretty quickly. They don't want to be caught, 0-6, 0-7.
Which is what happened to them in 2019, if I'm not correct.
And chasing their tails for the rest of the year, because it just puts unperceived pressure on you for no reason whatsoever.
Absolutely.
The season's pretty much on the line this fortnight. They've got Montrose and Lilydale. Montrose hasn't been travelling too well, and Lilydale haven't won a game either. So if they can't win both, they've got to at least win one of those. Otherwise, 0-5, your season's done. Even the one, that's probably not enough. And I mean, with the leading goal kicker that for them has only kicked 3, we watched him against Mitcham in that round 1 game.
Well, he kicked 2 of them then, didn't he? Or he might have kicked all 3, Crikers, that day. Maybe only 2. They only kicked 6 goals for the game.
Yeah,
So he's kicked 66% of his goals in one game of footy. So it's definitely... And you spoke about Lilydale there, Ryan. It's a big fortnight for them, as you said, not only for Wanty South. They play Upper Gully at home today. 2 sides expected to struggle. And then they've got Wanty South next week. Both sides today, Upper Gully and Lilydale, have been getting better every week, but both look like different lists. Lilydale's is a lot younger. Upper Gully have got a bit more star power. Luke Tynan, the obvious one. Home ground advantage with the Falcons, but which way are you leaning, Brash?
Look, I think I'm going for... you're right, the squad that Upper Furniture Gully are taking to Lilydale is a much more mature squad than what Lilydale are putting on the park. You got the Galley brothers, right? That whole key position. You got Luke Tynan. You got Adrian Catalano. They've got some quality players up there, and they've obviously taken a little while to find their feet under Luke Tynan. There were some positive signs last week, I thought, especially in the last quarter, and. Looking at Lilydale, very young. Obviously, it's like they do need a reset up there. They've probably got the right coach in doing that now, and obviously they need to make some hard decisions as well on players. I'm just going to go with the club today that just got a little bit more stability right in their lineup at this stage, and that for me is Upper Furniture Gully. Yeah,
Ryan, any thoughts? I think Brush has probably hit the nail on the head there.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty valiant against Mitcham last week. I think there was just 9 points in there and they lost by.
And they came home late too.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's hard to tell. Like you said, Lilydale's, they're relying on their youth at the moment. And when you sort of put it in a match like this where it's a must-win game, I think you'd almost go with Upper Furniture Gully just for the more experienced players.
Absolutely. And then the other big game in that division is the preliminary final rematch between... Well, Croydon, the Premiership favourites early in the pre-season, they might have floated out if we had odds. And Park Orchards will have come in after coming from 5th to make the prelim. They're 3-0. They're sitting pretty. Only Mooroolbark have probably been more impressive than them, who take on Mitcham today. What's your read on that game there, Brush?
Well, look, we were all a little bit disappointed with... Croydon's first up effort against East Ringwood in a game that we all probably expected them to win. They were a little bit disappointed, a little bit rusty, but they've come back out over the next 2 weeks and they've found their mojo again. They've got some good players getting back into form. You look at Park Orchards, the Park Orchards machine, Dennis Armfield, Andreas Everett. The names just keep rolling off. they've got Nicholson. They've got a wealth of youth and talent that have been there 3 and 4 years now, and they're building into the next club. I feel they are the next club coming up the Premier Division. They haven't put a foot wrong all year, and look, it's a brave man. As well as what Croydon are going, I just think Park Orchards are just going just that little bit better at this stage of the season.
You're right, and they've got so many multiple avenues to goal. I mean, Hickey, Everett, Armfield can hit the scoreboard as well, playing in the midfield. And not only that, they've got a really tight defence. They've only given up 139 points this year, and I think that is probably the best in Division 1. And I think it'll be interesting with, Croydon, Riley Constantino, sorry about that.
That's all right, mate.
9 goals in the last couple of weeks. He's probably the key for Croydon. But I probably back Park Orchards. They're sort of the setup in the back line to limit his impact. Yep, and so I mean, it's an interesting one. Croydon haven't really had a good scalp yet, and obviously still early, but the loss to East Ringwood was probably the one that you look at and go, that's the sort of games they're going to need to win if they are really a contender.
And you're right there about their defence. They're ranked number 1 with defence of 46 points, and the offence ranked number 2, scoring on average around 98 points a match.
And it could be more because they haven't kicked more goals than behinds once this year, Park Orchards.
No, and when you look at Croydon, ranked 5th in defence and 4th in offence, so yeah.
Croydon just building into the year, though, I think. Like, they're getting better each week. Bayswater obviously themselves improving. I think it'll be close. Stinton's Reserve is a ground neither team will have played on.
No.
So Park Orchard's playing out of Stinton's Reserve for their 2 home games before their rooms are redone up. So there won't be any home ground advantage. So it'll definitely be one to keep an eye on. But I think we're all leaning towards the Sharks. Tips, I've got Lilydale, Park Orchards, Mooroolbark in that undefeated clash out there at the MCG of the East. I think Mitcham are going to run out of legs eventually. I think the Devils are going to beat Montrose. I've got them, I reckon they're due. And East Ringwood will win tonight's game against Bayswater. Brash?
I've got Upper Ferntree Gully, Park Orchards, Mooroolbark, Montrose and East Ringwood.
Right.
Yeah, I've got Upper Ferntree Gully, Mooroolbark probably too strong for Mitcham. I'm going to go with Montrose with no certainty at all, and then East Ringwood to beat Bayswater tonight.
Absolutely. So Bayswater sliding under the radar too, yet to get a win. Quickly before we go to our first break, just a couple of female scores from around the grounds. Ringwood remain undefeated in Division 2 of the Deakin University women's season. They won today over Kilsyth 62-22, and Surrey Park got their first ever win as a women's side, winning 43-7 over Knox. So on the other side of this break, we're going to be talking all things Division 2, Division 3, Division 4 as we head into this game here between Coldstream and Silvan from Hayley Supple Reserve. You're listening to EFNL Match of the Round here on the SEN app or on Facebook and YouTube. And it looks like we're just having a few technical difficulties there on the other end of the line. So we'll might as well just sort of jump into Division 2 then, guys, while we're at it. Ringwood and Mulgrave is the first game in that division. Mulgrave got their first win under Ryan Webster Brash, but you would suggest that Ringwood just too strong coming off a loss to Heathmont?
Yeah, they'll probably be stinging a little bit, Ringwood.
Ready if you want it.
And look, I think at this particular stage, Ringwood will win this game this afternoon.
Ryan, quickly before we do go to our first break.
Yeah, I think Ringwood too strong. I don't think they'll lose 2 in a row, and it's probably a good thing in the end to lose 1. You don't want to be going undefeated like they have been, because it hasn't given them any success in the end.
That's a little sly dig there, Brash. He's learning quickly that Ringwood struggle with home and away losses. We are going to go to our first break now, I believe, and on the other side of it, we'll do the rest of Division 2. That was a quick one there on a game that probably everyone was going to tip Ringwood anyway, and we'll look at Division 3 and Division 4 as well.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was Back in 4 minutes. Sorry about that. I just missed the cue there. Half-time worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real. Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding.
Yeah, that's right.
At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain. 30 seconds.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table.
Thanks,
and
mate.
now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He's circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome back to Hayley Supple Reserve here in Coldstream on a picture-perfect day for football, and we've decided we're going to watch the Battle of the Felines. It's the Coldstream Cougars and the Silvan Cats here. Division 4 action, 2 Premiership aspirants going head-to-head later today. But we're in the pre-game show here. Matthew Fodey with you now, Wayne Brusher and Ryan Long alongside me. We've done Premier, we've done Division 1, we've done one game in Division 2, and while we're at it, we're just going to check in around the grounds with the women's games that are going on sporadically across the league. Ringwood and Surrey Park have got wins today in Division 2. And in Division 1, Rowville are currently 17 points down against Baronia's first side. They've got 2 teams, Baronia, going very, very well in the women's sector there. So they're up by 17 points, Baronia, in the Battle of the Hawks out there at Seabeck. Long way to go. And we know Ray Baird's out there. He's probably watching as we speak. The rest of Division 2 now, gents. Templestowe and Knox. A crucial game for Knox. They haven't won yet, Brash, despite coming down with pretty good raps on them into the 3rd tier. They're playing a Templestowe side that looks a shadow of its former self. Surely the Falcons have to get on the board here.
Yeah, look, this is their day, the Falcons. Well, they haven't been disgraced, really, in their 3 losses. Look, it's not like they've been belted off the park. They've been what you would call probably honourable losses.
Yep.
but today's their chance. And I think with the way Templestowe are going, to me, Knox might be able to get some much-needed percentage, because at the moment, Templestowe's defence is not able to hold or even provide any opportunity for their forwards.
Absolutely. Ryan?
Yeah, it's hard to see Templestowe. I don't know who they'd beat here. I think Mulgrave would probably be the closest, but you see in 2019, a lot of they've lost so many of those recruits from WA with the whole COVID thing happening. They can't come over and play. They're a much different side, and I think with Knox, that like you said, Brush, they haven't played poorly. They haven't been belted or been out of the contest at all. So, I mean, I'd expect them today to win and win heavy. And it's just what they need to do. They need to get some confidence back before they really start playing sides like South Belgrave and Heathmont and those sort of games that they just need to win.
Absolutely. It's an interesting one. Like you said, Templestowe have been hit hard by COVID and also coming to the end of a cycle where they've been at the top of the table without really tasting the ultimate success, and that can hurt sides, as we've seen in the big leagues. The Basin South Belgrave is happening tonight, and it's probably the biggest game in this division this round, Brash. It's the first big test for the Bears. We're 3-0, but so far they've beaten Knox last week where they overcame them in the second half. They beat Templestowe in round 2 quite comfortably and upset Heathmont in round 1. But as we've said multiple times, when it's a rivalry like Heathmont and the Basin, often form lines and expectations go out the window. So today's their first big test against a side we're pretty certain are going to be in the top 4, if not contending for the flag. What's your read on this one?
Well, you and I had a bit of a chat about this game on the way up, and one of the things I said to you was the fact that I was looking at a form line, and I was looking at. I was impressed with. I have been impressed with the Basin. You can't do any more than win.
Yep.
But I've got to take the opposition on its merits and into consideration. And I look at who South Belgrave have played. They've only lost one game. They've been very impressive right throughout the season so far. I believe Tim Smith's not playing today. Is that right?
Yeah, Tim Smith's not playing today, and he's kicked 11 goals and been in the best every game.
But I think they are able to overcome that, South Belgrave, because they have other goal kickers like Todd Burley and who else but Leota Matt. So they got plenty of firepower still, and I just think for mine, as well as what the Basin is going, it's going to be a big test for them. Even though it's at Batterham Park, so home ground will be an advantage. But I just think at the moment that South Belgrave just going okay. I think that it's a good night for them to get an away win.
Yeah, I've still got a couple of question marks on the Basin, despite a 3-0 start to the year. I mean, you look at the stats: at number 1 ranked attack, ranked number 2 defence behind Baronia
by a point.
Yeah. And I mean, they're doing everything right, so there's nothing you can fault with them. But this is the first real big test, as you said, Matt. South Belgrave, I mean, before that Baronia lost, what was it, about 22 wins in a row. This is
coming up to 1,000 days, wasn't it?
Yeah, a really quality side. And although Tim Smith is a big out, but as you said, Brush, there's plenty of other. They've got so much depth. They've got so many other options as well. So it is hard to see if the Basin can stop that. But I mean, if we walk away at the end of the day and the Basin's up, defeated South Belgrave.
They're the real deal.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, you've got to take everything into consideration too. Is Baronia have been the yardstick roughly in Division 2 and 3 in the last 2 to 3 years. They've played finals, but so have South Belgrave in the lower division. So it's actually no disgrace for them, even though they're in front at 3/4 time. No disgrace to be going down by 9 points when you haven't lost a game for nearly 3 years.
Well, yeah, and as you said, Baronia have been a benchmark of the competition along with Ringwood for so long.
Yep.
So. And like we were saying in the car as well, Brash, on the way here, that the sides in Division 2 that have been around the mark would comfortably go okay in the division above. So, it's, for South Belgrave to be competing, and the Basin as well, for that matter, it's actually so impressive. As we've seen, Mitcham were actually, probably them and Heathmont seemed to be a bit off the boil last year heading into that final series, and now Mitcham are 3-0 after producing a run, and they've currently got the longest winning streak in the competition with 7 wins. So not as good as 30-something or whatever South Belgrave's got up to, but there you go. And the other game, Boronia and Heathmont in that division's an interesting one. The Jets got their first win last week, the Parker Cup, and each week they're getting better and better under Nick Rutley, but they've still struggled. I think their highest score is 68, and as Ryan mentioned as well, Boronia is the number 1 defence in the comp and have been for 3 years. They've averaged about 50 points a game against for 3 years now under Matty Clark, so they know how to keep a side under wraps. I don't know. I think Heathmont's best bet is to actually play that style as well. Keep it as tight as possible, like Noble Park do in the Premier Division, and hope they can pinch it late.
Yeah, you do, but I don't think Baronia's that type of ground, Matt, that allows you to play that close checking game, because Boronia will want to use their leg speed and then try and exploit whatever they can, and use not only the width but the length of the ground. They've got good key performance, the Hannons, you've got Burgess, you've got Ryan White on the ball, you've got Henderson. They've got a wealth of riches there, Boronia, and it just keeps getting better and better for them. Players want to come from other clubs. They've become a destination club.
Yep.
And when you become a destination club, you just pick up players that just fit into your program very nicely, and they just complement what you got. And I just think at this particular stage in the club's development, I think Boronia Star's still on the rise.
And the reason why I think they're probably the benchmark team of the competition, more so even than Ringwood, you have a look at their reserves, the amount of depth they had, and I think the reserve that won the last 2 premierships there. So, and I mean, if you look at the reserves right now, they're well above everyone else there. So I mean, they've got a lot of pressure, those senior players, to perform, to keep their spot. I mean, you talk about the recruits and people wanting to come here to Destination Club. Tyson Henry's one of them. He played his first game last week. You talk about the defence as well. I mean, Jared Lake held Tim Smith to 2 goals, and we all know how good Tim Smith is. So,
well, my nephew actually plays for Boronia, and he's been there 3 or 4 years, and he's a very talented footballer. And even he's only had 1 or 2 senior games, but that's and he's a good footballer. It just shows you the depth that they've got, right? When he can't get a game, because I know how good a footballer he is.
Zach Brasher, yeah, very good.
Absolutely. So, quick tips around Division 2. We already did. We all went with Ringwood. I assume we're all going with Knox?
Yes, we are.
Yep.
The base in South Belgrave. I'm going with South Belgrave, and Shane Boland will be watching this, and he's messaged me during the week. He said if the Basin win today, because I've obviously been quite harsh on the Basin, I haven't quite bought into the Bear Cave, he said if the Basin win today, he's going to get me a Basin jumper for me to do the next week's all media duties in a Basin jumper. So I'm sure Shane will be watching. So if the Basin win, I'm happy if someone can provide me one to chuck that on all week. I'll wear it into the office, everywhere. Might need a wash, but I'm going with South Belgrave.
So am I, and Boronia.
Boronia for me as well.
Yeah, South Belgrave and Boronia.
There you go.
I think it's pretty unanimous, nearly.
It is going to be unanimous. We've got confirmation. Boronia have won a game already today. They've defeated Rowville in the Division 1 Women's by 17 points. Division 3, a couple of crucial games. Furtugali Domvale is one of the games that we think Furtugali is going to win quite easily. Domvale coming a bit slower, even though they won in round 1 against Waverley Blues. The Gully were impressive last week, knocking off the Waverley Blues by about 7 or 8 goals. Scoresby v Warrandyte. You'd think Warrandyte will have the handle of the young Scoresby side there. Ryan Phillips kicked 7 in their win over Whitehorse Pioneers last weekend. Glen Waverley Fair Park's a pretty crucial one for both sides. Glen Waverley talked a big game, not a massive game pre-season. They were quite disappointed when I had them finishing second last. So this is a game they have to win, because you can't then say we shouldn't be down the bottom if you're not going to beat a side like Fair Park.
Actually, believe it or not, I'm actually going for Fair Park this afternoon, Matt.
Well, they do enjoy that ground.
They do, and I just reckon that look, they've had a lot of adversity. And I said last week on the broadcast on Sunday that they really are missing James Goff, their spearhead. But Hurd's back in the side. They've got McKendry. They've got a couple of Temple. So they've still got some quality players there. I think it's just and they've introduced some youngsters into the side as well, led by Mason Byrne. So I think it's still a bit of a learning curve for them, and I think they're not far off it. And I haven't been really that impressed with Glen Waverley Hawks in recent times, and I'm going to give Fair Park a chance this afternoon. I think they might get the points in a close encounter.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's two sides that just won't feature in September this year. But, look, it's hard to say. I mean, Fair Park, I don't know if they're even if they are in the right division. I mean, their win a couple of years ago now, were they? Well, they won the third or fourth.
Well, they won the right. They won the right, Ryan, because they won the flag.
100%.
And the thing is, but what hasn't done them any favours is the fact that they really needed 2020 more than any other club.
Yeah, they had the momentum,
They had the momentum because if they had played 2020 and had half a decent season and maybe won 6 to 8 games, they might have been able to recruit on the top of that, and
that would have set them up. The first year up is always the most crucial, because if you go back down, everyone just pencils you as not up to it.
Yeah.
But if, like you said there, Brash, if they'd been able to keep that list together, because they have had 3 or 4 blokes leave over that pandemic. If they were able to hold them and even win 4 or 5 games and stay up, it's a base to build off. But conversely, it's a very good point, Ryan. They have really struggled, and they've had some opportunities at home in those fixtures where they've kicked very, very inaccurately. Last week against Scoresby, they actually had them right where they wanted them at half time and just could not
They've
find
had their
the
opportunities.
Goals. Exactly. But the big game's probably Whitehorse and Waverley Blues. Both sides 1 and 2, but we're probably a bit more bullish on the Pioneers, given that the Waverley Blues talked a big game at the start of the year. But the Pioneers, have been impressive without really dominating a game. And Andrew Padbury's been key, but they need more goal kickers. I think he's kicked almost half their score this year, Brash.
He has, and look, it's probably a game for Waverley Blues. It's put up or shut up as far as I can say, because last week, and when we were talking about their loss to Ferntree Gully, for me it smacked of arrogance. And the coach basically said it in a nutshell, that they didn't have their minds set for the game where they should have had, where it should have been in the game so far. As he said, we had a big win against Scoresby, but our other 2 performances have been below par. It's point blank. Whitehorse Pioneers, that is a very, very difficult boutique ground to get your head around. It's one of those grounds where the centre half forward basically has to play deep along the full forward, because it's just one of those grounds where you're either there or you're not there. And I think with Padbury opening up, kicking down to the Wimmera Street end, that pocket can get really tight. For mine, I just think that I reckon Whitehorse might get the points today. Not because I don't think that Waverley Blues can't win, but I just think that they're in a better headspace.
Yeah, it's clear. I think Waverley Blues they're out of form at the moment, and it's hard to see. It's hard to see that being a final side at the moment, unless they have a lot of improvements. And these are the sort of games against the White Horses that you just have to win if you're going to feature in September. And I mean, from a White Horse perspective, Matt, you just mentioned about Padbury probably needing more help around him to get some score on the board, and it works all right against the lower sort of teams. He can sort of kick a bag, you can get a win, and it's not too much of an issue. But if you're going to play an East Burwood or someone who's really locked in pretty well, it's going to be hard to kick a winning score when you're only relying on the one, maybe 2 other players up forward.
The most interesting part to me is the fact that I think you've got 2 teams who are probably, like we said, in similar spots on the ladder, but, Whitehorse are probably pretty content with their start to the year, despite having a couple of bad losses. One against Eastbill, where they probably thought they should have won, and then one against Warrandyte, where they just weren't up to the level of a pretty good side. And then you've got Waverley Blues, whose big win was, very impressive, but they've had 2 extremely disappointing losses. So, it just depends where you put your. That's why expectations are so key in sport, aren't they? Because it depends on where you put them, Brash. If Waverley Blues had kept their mouth shut, and again, we're not saying that they were massive in this, but it was a fair bit about. If they just sort of said, we don't know where we're at after the pandemic, we probably wouldn't be saying this. We'd be going, okay, they're probably running on injuries or whatever it is. So
it's damned if you do and damned if you don't, because there are some coaches out there that they use that talk, Matt, for motivation as well. But sometimes it's probably that particular type of motivation isn't probably the one that I would go with when you're playing football.
Puts a lot of attention on you.
Yeah, look, every club goes into a season at the start of the season. They look at their list with an expectation. I'd love to win a grand final, but first and foremost, you just got to get to the finals before you can even give yourself a chance.
Get your season started. Well, that's just quickly. We're going to do Division 4 as well. Actually, we're going to run out of time, I think. We're going to go to our second break. On the other side of this break, we'll talk all things Division 4, which, of course, will include the showpiece game of the weekend. It's the Coldstream Cougars and the Silvan Cats right here on EFNL Game Day via the SEN app.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Celebrate a season of stories at Eastland this autumn-winter and discover a style for any occasion and every member of your family. From romantic date nights to family outdoor adventures or a glamorous evening out on the town. Find your new season trend at over 350 of your favourite brands like MJ Bale, Rod & Gun, Maya and Uniqlo. Your new autumn-winter style is waiting at Eastland. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
With Bendigo Bank's new Complete Home Loan, you'll be completely taken care of. With a completely awesome rate. Complete offset on fixed and variable loans. And a home loan specialist completely dedicated to you. So if you're not completely sure about the Big Four, search Bendigo Bank Complete Home Loan or head into Bendigo Bank, the better big bank. Lending criteria, terms, conditions, fees and charges apply.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding.
That's right.
At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
30 seconds.
Thanks, David.
Just taking the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Kick that far or that straight.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome back to Hayley Supple Reserve in Coldstream as we look ahead to this EFNL match of the round between the Coldstream Cougars and the Silvan Cats here in Division 4. The other Division 4 games, before we hook our teeth into this one, is Surrey Park and Croydon North M-Lock. Surrey Park will go 3-0 there. Not much we can really say. It's
No.
unfortunately just two clubs at different ends of the spectrum. Churnside, Forest Hill and Nuttawad and Kilsyth both expected to be closer than we think, Brash, for different reasons. Kilsyth should have the goods for Nuttawad, given that they're probably a bit further along the rebuild.
Yeah, I think this is a 18 goals to 8 type game for me, favouring Kilsyth.
Which is saying big things there, Ryan.
Yeah, I can't back Nunno at the moment. I think Kilsyth probably
Absolutely.
still comfortably.
And then Churnside Park broke that massive 37-game losing streak last week against Croydon North M-Lock, and they take on Forest Hill, who beat Nuttawad. Mitchell Hanegraaff kicked 9. Is this pretty much, Brash and Ryan, a playoff for 4th place already? Or
Yep.
one of 3 for the year?
Yep, I think so. And unfortunately for Churnside Park, their winning streak is going to stay at 1 because I think Forest Hill will get the points this afternoon.
Mate, as long as there's a win in the column for this year, I think they'll be pretty happy, Ryan.
Yeah, I can't see him being Forest Hill either, but good to see him get a win.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Now let's get into this one. Two sides expected to be up the pointy end of the ladder come the end of the year. Coldstream, the main one, of course. After last year, I think they run 10 in a row when they hit finals in 2019. Apology, not last year. I will stop saying that eventually. Before tumbling out in straight sets, and Silvan missed out on the finals by the barest of margins, 0.03% or something like that, after Surrey Park had a massive win on the final day. It was pretty much a shootout at different grounds in the end. Fritsch and Koga up forward for the Cougars. Kimpton and Bishop up forward for the Cats. Both players, well, all 4 players with experience at higher levels in the divisions. Darcy Fritsch, of course, coming off 20. What's your read, Brash? We spoke about this during the week. I actually think Silvan have enough firepower to maybe cancel out the Cougars' strength down that end of the ground.
Yeah, well, this is, like I said, we have discussed this game at length, the team, when we knew that we were going to do this game. And my first and foremost thing was how good are Coldstream going as against, how is Silvan going against better quality opposition?
Yeah, so the interesting thing you're saying is Coldstream are coming off a big win over Churnside Park by 110 points. So you're saying that's that Kilsyth Nuttawad scoreline.
Yep.
And then also defeated Kilsyth 185-14.
Yep.
While Silvan beat Forest Hill by 3 goals.
Yeah, I think it was 25.
Yeah, 101-84 I've got. So about 17 to 20 points. And then Surrey Park defeated them last week by 4 goals. So you're saying Silvan are more prepared, having come off 2 other games that have some competitive edge to them?
Yeah, I do. And the fact that, the 2 sides that they've played so far this season are finals bound, I feel. And I think that's a better lead up going into a game of this ilk. But that being said, though, Matt, Coldstream haven't been a flash in the pan side in this division.
No.
Right? They've always shown that when they're playing at a high level, they're capable of kicking big scores. And so far this season, they've been true to their form. They've done exactly what you should do to sides that are not at your level and beaten them quite comfortably. And it does give them a slight advantage being on their home ground this afternoon, but I just think that their forwards aren't going to get that sort of latitude like they had in the past, and I think Silvan's back line is going to make it very hard for them this afternoon.
Yeah, Ryan, I think Silvan have probably got the 2 defenders to do the jobs. Ben Riley will go to one of probably Fritsch or Koga. I suspect he'll go to the one that plays further up the ground, which by all reports will be Koga. And Darcy Fritsch will probably get Trent Giorgio, who's coming back off an ankle injury, so it could be a bit proppy. Is that enough, do you reckon, to maybe at least nullify that power up forward for the Cougars?
I don't know how well they'll be going to be able to stop them, but I think you're right when you just mentioned about their forward power as well. I mean, Kimpton, Bishop, these are sort of at Lynch as well. They're sort of players that can sort of kick a big score. They're in somewhat good form at the moment. The thing with that is they probably need enough supply from the midfield if they're being able to get it down there and all. And I mean, where it's such a big ground, it is such a wide ground, so the forward line may open up as well. So it's just going to be how well they play the ground. And as you said, Brush, I mean, I think Coldstream are the benchmark, but they haven't played anyone yet of qualities. And just going into a game like this where it's a big step up from a Kilsyth, so just pressure, just the amount of that they're going to be running, because they're pretty much, it is almost like coming off, not practice matches, but just it is a massive change in pace.
Glorified training drill, so to speak.
Yeah.
And the thing is, look, you look at the side that Coldstream have put together. I mean, it's a very, very talented side. You got Daniel Price, Daniel Verseegen, who's playing a milestone game this
100
afternoon.
games, 100 club games.
100 club games. So I want to play well for him. They've picked up a couple of guys from Lilydale and Koga, and I believe there's another player. Can't see him there, but they got Kane Aisley from Churnside Park. Jesse Lehman also from Churnside Park. So they've picked up
Jared Whitnish.
So they've picked up some experience, and Baton Leach has played with Coldstream for a year or two. He coming across from Montrose, so his experience at the high level should set him in good stead. So look, they've got a very, very good side here, Coldstream. So there's no reason why they're not going out there thinking that they're going to lose this afternoon. Of course not. They're going to go out there knowing that we've had 2 big wins and hopefully we can do it again. But I'm saying that Silvan are not going to give them the luxury that they've been afforded in the opening 2 rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the interesting thing, isn't it? That, it might be that the first quarter Silvan keep it quite close, and that's where they need to hit them and make the most of it. Because, like you said there, guys, the step up in intensity should be bigger. The home ground advantage will be massive. I think the record is that whoever's at home wins these games, such is the contrast between the red dirt of Silvan and the wide open expanses of Coldstream. But there's players in each team with such levels at the experience at the high levels that a big ground shouldn't really be their kryptonite. But Brash, you were saying to me during the week that you think Silvan can get the jump on Coldstream in the middle. We talk about the strength of Coldstream. It's at either end of the ground. Is the midfield an area where the Cats might be able to get on top?
Yeah, well, I've always been impressed with a player like Warren Schmidt. I think he's got better and better as the years gone on. Jared Deitzel can play, through the midfield, but also can kick goals. So they've got a couple there. Daniel Lemon off a half back line who's got good run. So I mean, without actually not having seen Silvan a lot, you can only go by the best players that they've got and finding out the sort of positions that they're playing. And obviously, you find 9 times out of 10 that most of the players that are getting in the best players are the midfielders and your on ball and whoever's playing on ball. It's very rare that a backman, or unless you're a Darcy Fritsch and kick 20 goals, are you going to get a mention in the best 6?
Exactly. So it's an interesting one, isn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, I reckon that the start's going to be the most important thing for Silvan. Being away from home and being at such a big ground, they can't afford to let Coldstream get a 3 to 4 goal jump on.
I agree with that.
They need to start well and just put some scoreboard pressure on. I mean, if we can go into quarter time and this is evened out, we've got they've broken even. I reckon they've got every chance to be able to continue that form for the rest of the game.
Absolutely, it is going to be an interesting one there, and as you said, it's the bit of heat around today in terms of the conditions. The reserves game out here, the guys they're out on their feet. I think they're waiting for the final siren to come here as the score Coldstream are kicking away. Do you think that could play a factor, given that this is the first real day so far this year that we've had some genuine heat?
Well, they probably don't get this sort of weather up here too often.
No,
Matty, and I would think that I think there's going to be one side, maybe around the 5-10 minute mark of the last quarter, that's going to be feeling it, and that if it's close, and a side gets maybe 2 or 3 goals in front, that could be the difference, because I just don't know where that other side will have the run or the will to kick 3 or 4 goals to get back in front.
Or conversely, if a side gets out to an early lead and spends all their petrol tickets, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, fitness-wise, I'm not sure how they've gone pre-season-wise, these sort of teams, but I think you're going to be running a lot out here, and such a big ground with the heat as well. It's going to be tough. So,
there might be a bit of Mark Scaife out there for a few of the boys in the Magoos. rubbing those legs together. Quick tips on this one. I think it's hard to go past Coldstream despite us willing a closer game.
I'm going with Silvan this afternoon.
There you go, Brash.
I'm tipping Coldstream.
There you go. By a big margin, or do you think it'll be...
I think it'll be more that sort of 4 to 5 goal thing. I don't think it'll be a massive sort of... margin, but I'm predicting Coldstream to hold on.
I would be disappointed if Coldstream for Silvan if Coldstream won by more than 10 goals.
Yeah, so you're saying anything over 10 goals is disappointing for Silvan.
Yep.
Yeah. Given Silvan's aspirations to be around the mark.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is a bit of a coming of age, isn't it, for one of these two sides today. So I think as we edge closer, on the other side of this sweeper, we're going to be not only on the SEN app, we're also going to be on Eastland FM 98.1, and we're going to be on Facebook and YouTube, and we're going to be covering this match of the day here from Hayley Supple Reserve between the Coldstream Cougars and the Silver Cats. Brash, you'll be in special comments, mate, but thanks for joining us for that first hour.
Absolute pleasure, Matty.
Ryan, thanks for debuting on the pre-game, mate. Enjoy yourself down on the boundary line.
No problem, we'll do.
And on the other side of this break, Ben Warren Smith will be joining me here in the hot seat, and we're getting ready to call this game here from Hayley Supple Reserve between the Coldstream Cougars and the Silvan Cats.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding.
That's right.
At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastland Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
30 seconds here.
Coach has taken the team to...
Do you want me to come back with just the regular sweeper or the opener again?
Yeah. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to...
Sure.
Yes! Straight into his pie hole. You beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
It's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go low.
Day here as the sun's out, the umpires are walking out to the middle, holding the ball aloft. Big crowd piling in for this. You'd probably consider it a Yarra Valley Cup, wouldn't you, Brash? I'm Matthew Fody, joining me, Wade Brasher.
Yeah, good afternoon, Matt. Good afternoon, listeners. And great contest in store for you this afternoon. Two of the Yarra Valley clubs in Coldstream and Silvan doing battle, and these two have been perennially good rivals in Division 4 in the Eastern Football Netball League over many, many years, and today's game's really going to be no exception.
Absolutely, and it's an interesting history for the two teams, isn't it? Silvan coming across, probably just over a decade ago. Coldstream have been in the competition for how long, Brash? Longer than the Cats, but it's interesting. Both clubs have had flirting experiences in Division 3, but nothing higher.
Yeah.
What do we see for these clubs at the moment? Where do you think they're at?
Well, it's an interesting... Chad Rogers has been building this side up for quite a few years. Coldstream had a very, very good 2019. I think they lost only a couple of games. Unfortunately, their form deserted them in the finals, where they were unceremoniously dumped out of the final series in straight sets. Silvan, on the other hand, they've had their moments. They've won flags and as such, and And look, they've been perennially always around the mark. They've always been able to recruit good players for that particular neck of the woods. And
they do well at targeting maybe the blokes that have finished with their time up a bit further up the Maroondah Highway in Lilydale and Croydon and Mooroolbark, which I'd suggest looking at both teams' lists is where they're recruited from.
I think the thing is, since Trent Martin's gone up there, he's actually given Silvan some purpose again, because I think they were lacking a little bit on field and a bit of a lack of direction. But with Trent coming from Croydon and playing in a much more structured environment, he's come up there with his own ideas and then been able to get the players that he wanted into an environment that he could nurture, and I think it's starting to pay off.
Absolutely, and looking at him out there, both coaches in shorts for Silvan, which I really enjoy. I think sometimes coaches can go too far with the slacks. Looks like Chad's got the slacks on down the other end, so maybe two coaches would do two different views on professionalism, Brash, which will be interesting. In the pre-game, which everyone would have caught on the SEN app, of course, if you haven't been listening. You went with the Cats, Brash, and you went with them because you think maybe they've had a bit of a tougher run into this clash.
I look for a little bit of form line early in the season, right, when we're looking at clubs, and unfortunately with Division 4 so far this season, the quality seems to really only stop probably the top three, with two other sides fighting out for that fourth position. And I have Silvan in that top three this year. I just like the run-in. They've had a loss to... They had a loss to Forest Hills and a win, I believe, Matt, against Surrey Park, or was it the
other way around, Brad?
Other way around. Whereas Coldstream have had two big victories over Kilsyth and Emlock, and I think for mine, I'm just going with a side that's just a little bit more battle-hardened, but the great leveller for Coldstream is the fact that they're playing on their home ground, and it's nearly been a fortress for them for so many years.
Well, it's a very, very big fortress. It wouldn't be hard to find. And joining us for the first time today is Ben Warren-Smith, broadcast manager. He's brought along some treats for us as well. Ben, how are you?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. It's great to be heading far east again for our second game.
A different direction east. We went far east for Berwick.
Yeah, and it's good to get out to these grounds as well, because it's been a few years since we've been out to Coldstream, and grounds looking in fantastic condition. There's a fair few people here as well. Pretty difficult to get a car park in the surrounding streets and such. And I tell you what, the reserves boys, didn't they get around that victory? Very, very happy in the rooms down there. So I'm excited to see what this game will bring today. I think both these sides will be playing a pretty heavy part come towards the end of the season and finals time. So it was important that we got out here today, and Division 4's just as equally as important as any other division, and they get their time in the sun today. And of course, it is sunny out here. We talk about it being Arctic Park. We give it a bit of stick, but I tell you what, it's delightful out here today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's a picture-perfect day, and it's a good point you make about Division 4 being important, because you're only as good as your bottom division, Brash, and we're about to see probably the pinnacle of that division today. Yep. And in terms of the numbers here, Kelly Tarr, who's Mrs. Coldstream, she was talking to me pre-game, and Brash, she was always saying that they always plan around the Silvan game sponsors up there, which would have been a perfect commentary position on top of the club rooms, but I think they've booked it out as Lee's going to try and get us through the bushes there. They've just booked it out for their sponsors, who will be getting into the frosty ones. There's a man, he's wearing your shades, Brash, so might be sneaking up. Hopefully we can sneak up there later today. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one. I still think Coldstream will win, but hopefully for our sake and for Silvan's sake, I think it'll be under 3 or 4 goals. I'm not sure if there's been a toss yet. Our boundary riders might not have clocked it. Ryan and Jared might be trying to find out who's kicking in what direction. Boys, have you got us?
Yeah, we're right here. Haven't seen the toss just yet. I think it might have happened, though. We might have missed it. But it's beautiful down here today. Much happier with this assignment in Coldstream than we were in Doncaster. No changes currently for Coldstream. No late changes, that is. In Shield and in Griffin is all we've got.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jared. And then on the Silvan side of things, no changes either, although we've got a couple of... a jumper change for Andrew Cardamone. He's wearing a different jumper, isn't he, guys?
Yeah, Andrew Cardamone will be wearing the number 5 today.
There you go. Big name. A few European names in both lists, Brash?
There is. It's a
Silvan, probably known for that.
Yeah, it's the who's who, really, of name dropping here for both sides, actually. And, it's... like I said, but a lot of these guys are familiar to us.
Well, it's all about sitting back and enjoying the show today, and on such an occasion, I brought in the best popcorn in Melbourne today, guys,
big,
for you to have a go at. I've got Brucey's own cup, so he doesn't lean over us all day as well, so that's important.
Just to let you know, BWS, that number 15 for...
Yeah, Aisley.
Aisley.
He came up to us pre-game, Kane, and he said, he come up with Mrs. Tarr, and he said, I just want to let you know how to say my name. And he's done that because he's he's starting on ball, so he's confident he's going to get a kick.
Well, the first quarter is about to get underway. Division 4 match of the day, Coldstream versus Silvan. Here's Matt Fodia to start us off.
Yeah, back in the middle, there's a severe height difference in the ruck, but it's won nonetheless by the Cats. Coming through the middle there was the captain of Coldstream, Carrigan, socket at forward, the top dog in Division 4. He was voted in 2020 on social media. They just work it to the left of your radio dial, YouTube screen, Facebook on your phone, and it's... Score's locked up, still 0-0, of course.
One of the true grounds that have 50-metre arcs.
It could almost have 55, couldn't it, Brash? It's Carrigan again roving the pack. Ball's just sort of scrimmaged forward by the Cats, but he's handed off straight into the running arms there of the Cougars. And they put their first score on the board across the face for one behind. I think that might have been our man Aisley bursting past.
We'll give it to him.
We will give it to him. Kane, he came up to us and he said, I'm going to get that many kicks today, you better get my name right. So Kane Aisley with the first score on the board for the day. It's the Cougars with the early running, one behind to the Cats 0. Interesting to see how they set up here today. Brash is coming in defence is Alex Walker, booms it up the line. The ruckman doing battle out there. It was Jesse Lehman, the big man for Coldstream, who got it to ground for his teammates. They flip it out the back, and then Daniel Price pumps it back inside forward 50. Big fly from the side, but a spoil comes from the Cats. Oh, coming in. Did well to pull out of it in the end there, did Daniel Dixon, and not give away the free kick. And it's a good defensive mark taken down there by the man Tyson Bissels.
So Bissell's, he goes for the switch. It's going to hold up. Oh, the one-on-one contest ensued there, and Schmidt had to work from behind. He managed to cause the spoil there over the top of Chris Witchell, and will have a boundary throw-in.
Probably lucky not to get a free kick there, Witchell.
So 50 metres out. It's down the Coldstream end. They lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard by one solitary point early in the piece there. Taylor just scooped on it, got a quick kick out, but the Cougars do have the numbers. Little short pass there by Shield inside forward 50. Was trapped that time by Walker, who thumped it on its boot. He kicked it out towards the wing position. Nicely scooped upon there by London. They're going backwards to go forward. Short passes on there by Koga into the middle of the ground. They're building something here, Coldstream. Well, they were until they just stopped in the middle of the ground. Now they go, doing it in bits and pieces. Direct kick inside forward 50. The lead comes out. Oh, standing strong was a fantastic mark in front there. Was Straw. Hair.
It's very phonetic, that name.
So Strawhair just slams it down the throat of Dan Price. What a player he's been for such a long time, as he thumps the ball back inside forward 50 now for Coldstream. Who's going to be front and centre. Almost trapping at that time was Pesamenti. Couldn't quite grab the ball. Diving on top of it there was Koga. He's been heavily met. It's a feline frenzy 50 metres out from the Cougar goal line, and we'll have a ball up.
One thing you'll know about Coldstream will know that Silvan's going to make them earn their inside 50s this afternoon.
Jesse Lehman has about a metre on the opposing ruckman there in Jackson Harris, and he just decided to shove him out of the way and then dive in wearing the old socks. And Mark Freeman will watch this during the week and get on the blower to the Cougars. Look at that. Wrong logo. Good from the Cats there. They've got the right ones on as it's thrown up in the air again. Lehman, he's going to win a lot of hit-outs today. Handball. Going to be a free kick going the Cats' way for holding the man.
Did you get fined for the wrong socks?
I think after a certain period of time. I think once the next order's in. But anyway, that's probably... We're going early to the B-roll. It's Deitzel, co-captain, swung it to the outside, and the Cats have a chance to attack, and they go looking for Giorgio, who's moving pretty well for a man suspected to have an ankle injury. Got the zinc on too, which I like to see. That kick works out in the end towards Daniel Dixon. Couldn't get his hands on it. McInerney, handball back. Baton Leach. He finds a man out on centre wing. That's an old jumper wearing the number 23. He's not on my list. And he'll go inside forward 50 and finds a target on the lead in Darcy Fritsch. Coming off 20. Can he get number 1? Doesn't. Decides against it. Goes to Koga at the top of the square. Nice. And he works his man under it and takes the mark. 15 metres out directly in front. Lockie Koga, and he can line up for the first major of the day.
That's one of his fortes, Lockie Koga. In his younger years and his early senior years, he was able to... His good use of the body... to edge out his opponents in a one-on-one competition always was very fruitful.
Yeah, played a lot of his juniors as a centre-half back and then was turned into a forward in his later days. He's looking very, very trim.
Absolutely.
He's an incredible Nick, the ex-Churnside Park junior. And Ludo, senior player, comes in and he's always been a good kick. He nails it and he loves it too. Always loved a major as Big Cogs. He kicks the first of the day. The Cougars are 1-1-7. The Cats have yet to get it in their forward half. They're yet to score. We've gone 4.5 minutes.
Encouraging signs here for Coldstream. Silvan have really tried to lock up their forward line and drop numbers behind the contest. But Coldstream are now starting to find holes through that defence, and they've got to be careful here, Silvan, because if they get the counter punch, there's going to be no one there to pick it up.
Boundary.
Let's cross down boundary side, and we have Jared Beanland.
Yo, so yeah, we've got an update on the jumper number 23. It's being worn by Paul Wagner.
There he is.
So Paul Wagner wearing the number 23 today as the Cats go forward this time. It's their first time inside forward 50. Couldn't quite find the target. It was almost a throw there. Scooped upon there by Chapman, brought to ground in a strong tackle. We'll have a ball up 50 metres out from the Silvan goal line. And Lee Kimpton picking himself up there.
Going to be key today, isn't he, Brash Kimpton?
He's been a great pick-up too for Silvan. Good there by Trent Martin.
Well, Lehman, he just stood flat-footed and still got the knockdown.
He doesn't look like he's a mobile ruckman, Big Jesse.
It's just now that Coldstream just need to take more advantage of his hit-outs, or he needs to read the play a little bit more and hit it more to Coldstream's advantage.
Lehman and Harris. Lehman flicked it over the back there. Shield got boot to ball in a timely fashion in towards the middle of the ground. It was run and scooped upon there by Taylor, brought to ground in a great tackle by Jai Deacon, and he's been rewarded. So it'll be a chance now for Coldstream to go forward. They kick it up towards that half-forward line where Wagner takes it this way, that way, on the right boot, slams it inside forward 50. It was a shocker of a kick, though, and it's been chopped off. They had the numbers, too. They had two, in fact. Kick goes out. Big fly that time there by Harris. He brought it to ground. They had the numbers at the back. Now the kick goes down the wing for Silvan. Will it meet the target? Got to be fast here. Did very, very well. There was Low on the right boot, snapped it around the body, and I tell you what, he kept it inside the line. Magnificent.
That was brilliant play.
So Lee Kimpton, he has the ball there. 2 kicks from home here, Silvan. Runs around the mark. That was good play. Now kicks the ball inside forward 50. He keeps it low. Getting in the front spot there was Smith, though, for Coldstream. He chopped it off. He had support there in Carrigan. Got the handball back. Now it's Price. Kick was half smothered. Well, it wasn't in the end. The umpire paid the mark. Here's Mundos on the right boot. Kicks it back inside forward 50 again. And they're going deep, and they're peppering the 50, but they just can't hit the target. And Dredder got the kick back towards the Luke London in the goal square now. They're going to use the far side of Coldstream reserve here, and here's Verstegen. Kicked it out towards the wing position where it's taken by McInerney on the right boot now, although giving a fair old go for the Netherlands play of the day, but that they coughed it up, but they've got it back again now. McInerney for take 2, still couldn't quite hit the target. Shield over the top. They're linking up well. The ball's in the arms of McInerney on the left boot. Set sail for goal, and he pushed it wide, and he pushed it left and goes through for a minor score. Another one for them, Coldstream, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've gone 7.5 minutes here in the first term, and they lead 8-0.
Coldstream's run and carry from that to half-back line to half-forward line is going to be a worry for Silvan throughout the day.
Absolutely, and that was pretty impressive play there from the Cougars. Unfortunately for them, not finished off by McInerney, who's been active early on. Short ball coming out of defence there from Bissell's, finds the target. So Silvan they've actually probably got their hands on the footy, just haven't quite been able to pinpoint their way through, and that's a big man in the way. One of the big tails there in Sheldon Smith. Doesn't look like a Sheldon, the Smithy. And they pump it back inside forward 50, the Cougars. Coming up was Bissell's, dropped the mark. Handball comes out the back, Fritsch flicked it off. Carrigan, left forward pocket, tries to centre the ball looking for a target when he could have had a shot. And decides in the end it's handballed away by Walker and knocked over the boundary line by Carrigan.
Just took the unselfish option there, Carrigan, but just the kick let him down.
Yeah.
We understand what he was doing.
You wouldn't have had a shot, Brash, there on your left foot?
No.
Bit of Lockie Hunter about his kicking style, Darcy Carrigan, as it's thrown in again. Fritsch in the ruck. Carrigan's got no one on him, despite being probably one of, if not the best player on the ground.
Well, he's got a massive tank, though, Carrigan. I've seen him a couple of times. He knows he can run games right out.
Looks like he might have a bit of a sore wrist or finger or something. Heavily taped that left juke of his. So we throw it in, half-forward flank for the Cougars. Fritsch goes up, wins the front spot, but it ends up in the hands there of the man D'Alfonso Matteo, the Silvan co-captain. Working his way down there is Kimpton. Did well. Low, or Harris, apologies. Got the ball forward. Now Kimpton just slips the tackle and goes long towards centre forward. They've got a one-on-one down here. It's well done by Liam Koga. One out there against, looked to be Lemon. No, it's Cardamone. And then we're going to have a stoppage. No, it's a free kick, a high tackle. Going the way of, it'd be kind if he pointed in the direction of the umpire. He's going to go the way of the Cougars. And they'll get a chance to exit their defensive 50 again. They do so in the way of Sheldon Smith, but it's out of bounds on the full. It's a big ground, so you've really got to be pushing it to kick it over the line here. And the Cats are going to have their way back inside forward 50 again by the man hiding behind the tree. And he goes short inboard. Finds Daniel Lemon. So a lot of names from Mooroolbark and Croydon on this Silvan list, Brash, as you mentioned in pre-game. Trent Martin using his connections well to strengthen the Cats. And they go to the forward pocket. Looks like all the numbers with the Cougars. And this ball's going to go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So this is the Cats' best chance for a major. We've gone 10 minutes in the first quarter. It's the Cougars 1-2-8. The Cats yet to score.
When you're playing on such a big ground and you're trying hard, you need to sometimes see some reward for effort.
Ball's thrown back in now. There's a lot of players around this pill as well. Who's going to be managed to break their way through here? It was Lynch. Goes goalward, but pushed it wide. Out of bounds on the full. Nicely trapped by Old Mate in the back of the ute. Casually left-handed throw back over the fence.
Sucking a dart back too.
Kick goes wide. This is almost looked like it was going to go out of bounds on the full. Then as it does. The second one does. It was intended that time for Daniel Price. But
This would have to be the biggest ground in the comp.
That's a lovely straight line, that boundary line, isn't it?
Ryan Long's boundary side.
Yeah, just notice the wind picking up a little bit towards our side of the ground and also down Silvan's end at the moment.
Benny Strawhair goes inside forward 50. First man to meet it at ground level was Hassan, and over it goes for a boundary throw-in. Plenty of great games as you go local for your footy this afternoon. Keep us informed via our social media channels. We'll let you know if your team's up or down, if you're not already there watching your boys go at it today as the ball hits ground level. Carrigan on the left boot, and a bit of a scrambly kick to a one-on-one contest then. Whitnish, he had to go against his opponent and brought to ground Dan Lemon, who's been around the football a little bit in the recent minutes. And we'll have a ball up. 1-2-8, Coldstream, the home side leading Silvan, yet to score, but it's down their end. High throws it up. Lehman. We'll say that quite a few times today. There's no doubt about that. As a pick up by Lemon, it was a scrambly one. Little kick off the ground now by Collins. Went up towards the half forward line. He might even be able to rove his own football here, but Turnbull kicked it up towards the top of the goal square. Will they have the numbers? A little flick handball away. Went to Ferguson. Ferguson, an up and under kick. Who's going to come after it now? Nicely done there. They had poise. They looked like they had a lot of time there. London on the right boot slams it out towards the half back line. Where running onto it was Pesamenti. Little chip kick over the top. That's okay. Here's Wagner. He'll want to waste no time. Swings around now on the right boot. Kicks it in towards the middle of the ground. If we're at other grounds like Doncaster East, it would have been coast to coast by now as it comes up towards Carrigan. Dumps the ball inside forward 50. Top of the goal square it goes. Roving at the back of the pack. Whitnish. Step around the body by Whitnish. She's no touched. And then it hit the post anyway. You don't get 2 points. It still remains as 1. Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 12 and a half minutes into this first quarter on EFNL game day. It is the home side Coldstream leading 1-3-9. Silvan yet to score.
It's an interesting point there you make, BWS. It would be hard to defend on this ground because you're used to setting up, like you said, Silvan actually let through a goal there, but then they still had another chance as they bring it out of defence through Walker. He's looking for a target out here on centre wing in Bishop. Brought it to ground and did well. Harris tried to crumb, but couldn't. It's just worked forward here by the Cougars. Handball loose inside forward 50. Whitnish, handball over the top. He'll get it back, will he? No, well done by the Cats. Pressure. They've done well in defence, Brash, to hold off here, to only be 9 down despite the dominance of the Cougars.
I would say both sides' defence are well on top in the contest very, very early on.
So we'll be thrown back in again. This is their best chance for a hit out. Riley and Fritsch. Ben Riley's got the job on him. Done well so far. Stepping in and out of tackles there was Pesamenti, but only as far as the Cats. And they go up to centre wing again. It's just a tumble old punt. Coming back and actually probably spoiling the contest for his teammates was Andretta. And then Kimpton, who's been good, got the handball out to Taylor, who slapped it on the left slipper, looking inside forward 50. Another bit of a chaos entry. Matthew Lowe did well. He's got London to beat, who just knocked it in front of Price. Looking very tanned is Daniel Price. He just sort of waded over that footy and let the Cats into this footy, into the tackle, and sock it off the ground though by McInerney. It'll come back through Giorgio. Can he find a target? Going back is London. Did well. Low brought it to ground and will have a boundary throw in inside the Cats 50. And already the boys are out on their feet.
Such as the length and width of this ground that technically both your full forward line has to play up on the half forward line to actually be in the contest.
So Lehman, he'll almost just go up unopposed anyway. He's just massive. He's really out. Taylor did well though. Little kick. Ended up in the hands there of Lemon. Right foot snap towards the goals. Is across the face and over the line for another boundary throw. And that would have really hurt the Cougars given their dominance if they'd only be 3 points up. We're 15 minutes gone here in the first quarter. The only score from around the ground in Premier Division. Ball in the early lead is 1-0 over Berwick.
Well, they're home.
Wickers will be happy with that. So thrown in again. Lehman and Harris. Harris did well, got the hit out. Taylor, been prominent early for the Cats. Good handball. And then getting the little kick forward. Was smothered in the end there. Was Bishop. Been good in the goal kickers early this season. Coming in high over the top. Might be a free kick going the way to Lynch. But nothing doing, says the umpire.
Thought I heard a whistle.
Might have been me, just the big front teeth. And it's just kicked out in front there. It was a nice kick looking for Carrigan.
Back of the hill?
Yeah, maybe just bounced into a bit like Bontempelli last night. We're going over the line for a boundary throw-in. Darcy Carrigan looked like he might be just resting forward. And at the moment, it's the Cougars 9. Silvan yet to score. 15.5 gone first term.
Let's get the sense that Silvan deserve a major. So umpire throws it in this time. They'll break their way through here. Deitzel, he had a support there in Turnbull. Had two Cougars to beat, but Deitzel went after it again. Brought the ball inside forward 50, kicked it towards the hot spot. This way, that way, snap around the body. That time there by Bishop. He probably should have looked for the fend off. Over she goes for a boundary throw-in. Let's go around the grounds though. And in Division 1 this afternoon, it is Mirrabah leading by 7 points, 2-2-14 to Mitcham 1-1-7.
And man, Dimmer would be happy with that.
It was great to have Dimmer in for insight during the week as the kick straight out of the pack there that time by Turnbull goes through for a minor score. That's their first on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. The Silvan Cats, they trail by 8 points. We've gone 16 minutes into the first term.
Yeah, interesting. The Cats seem like they're lost out here. Their forwards, they keep having snaps around the body and then realising they're 45 metres out in the pocket rather than directly in front as they would be at the Cattery. So Price, he's going to play on and get that stat and then take a bounce after 3 steps and then another one after 4 steps, and he's gone 20 metres and taken 2 bounces and drives it down the wing and finds a big man out there in Liam Koga. Had a defensive role for the last couple of years since crossing from the reserves at Lurdale. Takes a good mark and he goes up the line. Looks like Giorgio's got his name written all over it. He does, but good spoil in the end by Whitnish. Looked like the ball might have gone out of bounds, but it's just hacked forward again by the Cougars. And the first man there, will he get there in time? He did. He just socketed it forward. Might have gone out of bounds on the full there in Shield. It was an incredible effort to get there. And I think for his sake, it might have actually gone out first. So we're going to have a boundary throw in. It's taken them 8 kicks to get it to centre half forward. And they lead 9-1.
And the young fellas over the back there.
Didn't want to pay their admission. They'll wait till half time.
Something like that.
Thrown in. Harris got the front spot, went out the back of him and Lehman. Lehman went to soccer off the ground, then pulled out. Deitzel did well, and then laid the tackle on Whitnish, who tried to burst through the first man. He just sort of handed it off to the big man Lehman. The umpire said, we'll do it again.
Both defences well on top. Both forward lines struggling with the length and depth of the ground.
Yeah, which is weird for Coldstream. You'd think they'd know a fair bit about the ground by now. Carrigan, he's going to get his way in the end. Burst through the pack, kept it in play. Giorgio ducked the head, might have been taken high, surely taken high, and the umpire says he was. And the ex-Division 1 defender, Team of the Year player, will get the free kick deep in defence for the Cats. They've mainly played this side of the ground, and that's where he's looking, but it's a dangerous kick. Cougars are set up well behind the ball, so he's going to go long down the line. His target does well out there to just push his man under the foot. He might have given away a free kick in another game, and then it's socket off the ground out of Lowe's hand by Dylan Taylor. Kimpton does well, keeps his feet against Koga, and then goes back and gets it.
Well done.
And then handballs again. It's going to come out to Schmidt. Schmidt just whacks it on the boots, a tumble punt. They've worked their way forward once again, the Cats, and it's bounced into the hands there of the 4 there. Oh, it might be Bishop. Swings on the right boot. That's a floater towards goal, and it floats further and further across and then doesn't even go through for a score, and the Cougars will get to rebound again. It's like we're just doing circle work at the moment as Pesamenti brings it. He brings it out of defence and then looked around and saw two blokes and thought, don't want to give it to either of you. And that's a great tackle there by Caleb Collins, who plays on immediately handball to Turnbull, lines up the goals.
Beautiful.
And kicks it.
Beautiful.
So Silvan, after a lot of hard work, get their first goal of the day. Darcy Turnbull's kicked both their scores. He's 1-1-7, Coldstream are 1-3-9. We've gone 19 minutes in the first quarter.
It's almost like both sides are just trying to grab a scoring opportunity when the ball gets down there, because you don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game, this one.
Well, Silvan have actually had probably most of the opportunities in the last few minutes and just keep blindly kicking for goal and fall 10 metres short. There's a score around the ground, Ben.
Division 3, we've got Waverley Blues 6-3-39 to Whitehorse 2-1-13.
In fact, I reckon Trent Martin be really happy with the score line at quarter time.
Absolutely.
For Silvan.
As you said, their defence has been superb.
Ball back in the middle now. Lehman knocked it down. Chance for Silvan to go forward again. Bouncing football up towards the half-forward line. Little flick kick that time there by Kimpton. Comes out wider though. Bouncing football. Baton Leach was there. He trapped it. He looked like he had a lot of time. Made it look easy in the end. The kick goes out towards the half-back line. It was a 2-on-1 situation. They're going to win it though at ground level. London, little quick kick. He was looking in the middle there for Aisley, but it was trapped upon there by Silvan, who dumped the ball inside forward 50. Player down is Lemon. He's looks a little bit ginger. As
left leg.
Lowe was trying to keep the ball alive. We'll have a boundary throw in. Boundary riders just to keep an eye on that as he makes his way off the field, Matt.
Berwick are up 2-3-15 to Baldwin 3 behinds, and Nunawading are up 25-2 against Kilsyth.
Nice. Throws it in now as Lehman. a knockout. Griffin, umpires, we've heard a whistle here, have we? Oh, he's called for a ball up. Let's cross down boundary side.
I was about to say Daniel Lemon's about to stay on, but now he's coming off to the boundary. Looks to be a bit something with the quad, but I'll keep you updated.
Thank you.
Good stuff, Ryan. There's ball's in the hands now of Jackson Harris. The ruckman sets out for goal.
Beautiful kick.
Gun barrel straight. The umpire did not move. They hit the front, the Silvan Cats, as we head into time on here in this first term on EFNL Game Day. They lead 2-1-13, Coldstream 1-3-9.
It's almost inevitable here that whichever side takes control of the centre corridor is going to do the bulk of the scoring throughout the afternoon, because when you're travelling far and wide, the leg speed will start running out, and you don't want to waste opportunities covering ground that you don't have to.
It's important they got those couple of goals, because they have dominated the play.
Yeah,
for
you want to get
the last
reward
12
for
minutes. Let's cross down boundary side to Jared Beanland.
Yeah, I was well off on the quad. It looks to be an ankle. The boot's coming off now, so the trainer's with him checking that out.
Thanks, guys. Keep us updated there. Beautiful position for our boundary riders today, right in front of us. So they can, they might even want to come slightly closer to the van as the tap comes down again. Sheldon Smith. They've got two absolute giants rotating in the ruck today, have the Cougars, but the Cats win the clearance and go forward once again. This would really hurt the Cougars if they could get a third one. Instead, coming out of there in defence is Andretta. Kicks it up the line. Well done. Coming late in there. Beautiful spoil by Daniel Dixon.
Oh.
His brother Billy's captain of Croydon. Andretta went and mopped up his own work and just pumped it down the line. Good spoil by Strawhair. Although his hair probably is a bit straw. It's a good tackle there by Harris. And it's going to be a free kick going the way of the latest goal kicker. Doing well as an undersized ruckman against two twin towers. Hopefully for their sake they stay upright. Long ball to set up forward low. Might have got a shove. We'll get a shove right in front of the umpire, that one.
An unnecessary one too, because he was just
dropped the mark.
too far underneath it. Yeah, that's it.
And he's still 70 metres from goal, so it's
3 kicks away.
Exactly. So it looks like Giorgio was going to run past, but sticking with him there was Witchell. And he's having a shot now. He's going to prove us wrong. Matthew Lowe.
Well, at least he'll get it to the hot spot.
Bit of a Jerry Seinfeld-like hairstyle there.
There is a bit of... and Jerry always went pretty well. He got right under it. He might have the journey, but in searching for that journey, he's pushed it to the right. But the Cats, they lead now. They're 2-2-14. The Cougars, 1-3-9. We've gone 23 minutes in this first quarter.
Very, very good. Just the last 5 minutes, Silvan have just been able to find their structure and have been able to...
Settled a little bit.
And settled and they've used the corridor a little bit more.
And round the ground scores. A high-scoring game out there at Springfield Park. Whitehorse 5-1-31. Waverley Blues 7-3-45. And Scoresby a 2 straight 12 to Warrendot 1-2-8.
Oh, well, they got to the half-back line and brought to ground in the strong tackle now. Delfonso, he's going to go back 60 metres out. He pushes it to the right forward pocket. He probably should have gone a little bit straighter there, but mopping up there was Warren Schmidt. Gave the don't argue. Goes towards goal. This is a fair old go-to. He was almost like kind of ping it in for the Tobin brothers' goal of the day, but unfortunately for him and all the Silvan fans, it went through for one behind, touched and over. 2-3-15, 24-minute mark of this first term. Coldstream 1-3-9. We'll get another chance to bring the ball back out. We're going a little bit old school, everybody in the middle and then the breakout here.
I like it. Maybe news gets out slow to this neck of the woods, but I like it.
As the kick now will go out wide, and it was trying to stay alive there for Koga, who did well. He kept it in, kicked it up towards the wing position. Will he be able to keep it in? No, he won't. That's the second time. The second kick from the kick out has gone out of bounds on the full, right in front of our boundary riders, Ryan Long and Jared Beanland here, as the kick now by Chapman. It was a bit of a sloppy one, but it was well trapped there by Taylor, who just wanted the football more. They'll kick it up to, it was chopped off there. The big man, Harris, kicked it to the other big man, his opponent there in Sheldon Smith. Going backwards to go forwards. He might get it back now. The big man looking for looking for Price, I should say. But desperation dive there by Harris, sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Gee, that was very
sloppy,
lazy there by Darcy Carrigan.
Yeah, it seems weird. The Cougars.
Why would they want to do something like that?
Well, maybe your point earlier in the week, Brash, about them not really having a real hit out yet this year.
Turnbull goes deep inside the forward 50, pushed wide.
He's coming to fruition. Sorry, Beddoes.
Over the boundary line, it goes and out.
One thing I've been impressed with too in the last 10 minutes is the Silvan half forward line have worked it out, and have worked really hard to keep that ball inside that 50 to 70 metre arc.
Smith versus Schmidt in the ruck contest that time. Bouncing football comes out. Pesamenti, he was pretty clever then, just got the little toe poke and it did just enough. They'll keep it alive here, the Cougars will. They little handball. Oh, they're putting themselves under pressure, but Pesamenti, he got heavily met. You could hear the crunch in the Leroy Green camera effects there as the kick goes up. Little palm off. This time it might work out okay. Running onto it there was Griffin. He was brought to ground by Bessels. Bessels allowed for the throw, or is it too high? And it might be advantage paid here as Deitzel will have to come back. And they almost should have been advantage paid then, you would have thought. Screaming for it is Mundos on the wing position. It'll go that way, but over the top of his head it goes. And good mark has been taken out here by Darcy Turnbull, who's already kicked a goal in this first term, Matthew.
Boundary.
Going across down boundary line, Barron side to Jared Beanland.
Yeah, the umpire seems to have called play off as Michael Pesamenti is not moving. He hasn't moved since that big hit a couple of minutes ago.
He looks like he's out.
Yeah, keep us up to date there, Jared, when you can and when it's obviously safe to get within his area. We might have a tiny bit of a delay here. The teams are coming to their huddle. Darcy Turnbull's got it on centre wing, but the trainers are with him. He's okay in terms of moving. He's crossing his legs. You know,
he might be winded.
Kudos to Ray. But he's at Roval today, so we won't hear that. So we'll have to replay it to him during the week. Razor Ray out of quarantine. Haven't we heard enough about that? Jeez. We've all done it. I didn't in Tassie. At least he was in Perth. Devonport, I'll tell you what, not much to look at out the window in Devonport. Saw all of Devonport in my first 3 hours and had another 400 to go. He's on his side now. He's
the other, just
Michael
getting back,
You'd almost call quarter time.
Let's get back to the game a little bit. The way Silvan are moving the ball out, they're sort of like playing possession, taking their time, moving the ball out of their back line, and then obviously trying to use that centre half forward corridor and directing that ball into that area so that the runners like Schmidt and Deitzel and Bishop can run onto the ball. I think Kimpton's probably trying to push too far up and might need
get his
to
hands
stay
on
back.
the footy. Yeah, you're right though, Brash. But you're correct in terms of they're trying to get out the back door and work it that way rather than staying deep and not having an option at centre half forward. So the kick from Turnbull's turned over immediately into the hands there of Baton Leach. Handy player for the Cougars in recent times. He got it into the middle to Witchell. And they handball it off. He's under pressure again. And that is the fourth tackle in about the last 10 minutes.
You could see it a
the
mile
Cats
away.
have got it in forward 50 again. That was Lee Warren. And they go inside and they've found Matthew Lowe. And I believe that was your man Lee Kimpton there, Brash. And that's about the third holding the ball they've had inside their forward 70. And Lee Warren, it was just sort of coasting. That's probably the third or fourth thing they've done in the last 10 minutes, the Cougars, that seems pretty arrogant or sluggish or lazy.
Where's the talk, though?
Well,
you're so far away.
But that's the thing, that, this is, like you said, the fourth tackle, and so far, of 3 of them have scored 2 goals, 1.
So Matthew Lowe comes in, must hurt, and does. He's got his first. They're 3-3-21, sorry, the Cats. The Cougars 1-3-9, and after having all the play in the first 10 minutes, the Cougars, the Cats have settled, and as Brash said, they've probably figured out that they need to have at least a couple of fellas push up to centre half forward to create a target as we cross down boundary side to Jared Beanland.
Yeah, so Pesamenti, he's off the ground. He's going to be doing the concussion test, obviously. That means 20 minutes out of the game at least, but the way he looked, it didn't look good. We probably won't be expecting him to see him. We probably won't expect to see him come back on the ground.
See if he hits time on in the next term, but they'd be I don't know. It's a big risk to bring a player on who's been virtually knocked out.
Especially given our concussion tests won't be as concrete as the ones in the big leagues, given they've got access to technology
But
and so on.
there has to be a duty of care.
That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't risk it if you're not certain.
So in that time, Lehman got the back palm down. Strong tackle there by Tyson Bissels. And the Cats will have a restart here. Coldstream Reserve, EFNL game day. The 12-point lead to the away side at the moment, but the Cougars, it's across their half-forward line, but stolen now, and here's another chance deep in this first term for Silvan to go forward. The kick goes up towards the half-forward line. It's got to bounce favourable. It did for Lowe, but the siren beat him to it. And at quarter time, a 30-minute quarter out here for the first term, and it is Silvan who got off to a slow start, but they came home and they kicked the last 6 scoring shots of the term to lead at quarter time, 3-3-21 to Coldstream 1-3-9. Goal kickers Harris, Lowe and Turnbull for the Cats, whilst the single goal, whilst Koga has won for the Coldstream Football Club. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast here on the SEN app and of course 98.1 Radio Eastern. 1 quarter down, there's 3 to go. Keep us up to date with all the around the ground scores as you go local for your footy this afternoon.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway.
30 seconds.
Thanks, David.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. You beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Let's
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Match of the day out at Coldstream Reserve today, and it is the home side trailing by 2 goals at quarter time. Silvan 3-3-21 to Coldstream 1-3-9. Around the grounds though, Matt Fodia with some quarter time scores.
Yeah, some big results popping up here in Premier Division. Berwick 2-6-18 lead the Tigers. Baldwin 2-3-15 in the biggest trip in the Premier Division. The Bulls, Noah Park, lead South Croydon 4-3-27 to 1 straight 6. Nuttawading lead Hillside by 20 points and will be interrupted kindly by Ryan Long, who's down there with Trent Martin.
Yeah, just with Silvan coach Trent Martin. Trent, that was a fantastic start to the game. Your pressure was really good, especially up at the half forward, chasing down tackles. What was your assessment?
Yeah, well, I guess we were pretty hopeful that these kids we brought in were going to do that, and they just did it. So we've proven that we can do it for a quarter. Let's see how we go for the rest of the game.
No worries. And just on Daniel Lemon, had his ankle strapped. Is he all good to go?
Ready to go, mate. No drama at all.
No worries. All the best for the rest of the game.
Good stuff there by Ryan Long.
Breed them tough out in Silvan, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Especially when they've come from Muralbark as well.
Yeah, exactly. Would have been farming potatoes. Other Premier Division score coming through. Roeville lead Vermont by 2 goals and Blackburn the same over Doncaster.
Second term about to get underway here, and our first opportunity will go to Jared Beanland, who was at the Coldstream huddle at quarter time as the umpire throws the ball up now. Nice knockout that time there by Harris. Mark that one down. It goes up towards the half forward line for Coldstream this time. Big strong tackle over the top, and that was by Wagner, and it'll be a ball up. Let's cross down to Jared.
Yeah, so Chad Rogers was asking for more representation from Fritsch and Koga, more leading up, use of the larger ground, and also more spreading and switching, given how big the ground is.
So big thump that time there by Giorgio was as good as a kick, and it goes out wide now, and Dixon takes the mark for the Cats, and he'll take off to the races here on the right boot, drives the ball up towards the half forward line. That was a beautiful looking kick too. Out in front, Matty Lowe has been presenting well so far in this game as he kicks a centering kick as well. That was a good one, falling almost into it that time. There was Carrigan. He had Verstegen there in support, thumped it on his boot out towards the wing position. A one-on-one contest, almost holding by Strawhair. Umpire let it go. Kick out, little toe poke off the ground there by Deitzel, who'll have a chance to go after it again. He had Koga on his hammer, also Verstegen. Backwards to go forwards. Nicely done there by Carrigan. Swings around on the unfamiliar foot. Up towards the half forward line. Big fly. They look for the link up here. They're streaming forward. Here's Wagner. Inside forward 50. He goes to the top of the goal square or thereabouts. There might have been some holding. The home side's going to get it. It's going to be advantage paid, and slamming through his first is Austin McInerney. So Coldstream get the first blood in this second term, and it's back to a 1-goal ball game, and it is Silvan leading 3-3-21 to 2-3-15. 1.5 minutes gone.
It's what they needed early on, Coldstream. They just needed to get the ball into their forward 50 quickly and give their forwards a chance of scoring.
Austin McInerney's been pretty active too.
Yeah.
He's been running pretty well up and down the wing. Ben Riley was a bit disappointed with the umpire's decision there. Might have been a bit soft, but anyway, you can't probably grab jumper, can you?
Probably would have been a goal anyway.
Yep.
Exactly. Upper Gully lead Ludale 4-3-27 to 1-1-7, and Muralbark Mitcham is tied at 2-2-14 apiece. 2 undefeated sides. Knox lead Templestowe by 3 goals. Ringwood lead Mulgrave by 10 points around the grounds as we wait for the ball to get returned to the middle. It's going to be a while, so I'll keep going. Waverley Blues Whitehouse. Looks like defence has gone out the window. It's 9-4-58, the Waverley Blues to Whitehorse 6-4-40. Scoresby still currently leading Warrandyte by 4 points according to the live scores. And Domvale have the 3-goal jump on Furniture Gully, 5-3-33 to 2-1-13. And in 4th Division, the only other score that's popped through is Nuttawading 6-4-40 leading Kilsyth 3-2-20. So looks like the Nunna boys there, they'll be excited. They always celebrate wins pretty actively.
I just don't think that Coldstream...
Every other year.
I just don't reckon Coldstream so far have had really any benefit from the ruck work of Lehman. He hasn't really hit the ball into positions for the Coldstream runners like Carrigan and Co. to run.
And Aisley, whose pre-game was talking up how many touches he was going to get, Brash.
I think we've only called him once.
And that was when we were talking about how to pronounce his name.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Jesse Lehman got a bit of the Brodie Grundy-itis, according to Nathan Buckley.
Well, did McInerney kick it to Lilydale, did he? Taking that long to come back.
Wandon, maybe. Wandon. Big day out at Wandon, I think. That's what I heard driving down on me horse and carters. It's up in the middle.
Big day here too.
Harris got the leap up. Lehman tapped down. Coming through though. It's all the Cats at ground level. D'Alfonso got it out. Harris is there. Taylor in the end the only one who kept his feet, and then diving in below the knees. Might have been a free kick. That was Aisley. But the umpire says no. It's going to be Lehman. giving it back for another repeat stoppage. So Cougars got the one they needed. Brought it back to a goal. Shield. And then for the Cats, it was Lynch. It's just forced forward here by the Cougars with a clear possession. A lot of soccering off the ground today. Leading the race was Walker. Slapped it out in front. Cougars coming through. Left it behind the big fella. But in the end, it's okay. Shield grabs it from outside 50 and pushes it across the face for one behind. Handy point. 2-4-16 the Cougars. Silvan 3-3-21.
You can see Coldstream are quite prepared now to try and get that ball and take control of that centre area.
Absolutely. So looks like it's been an interesting round so far around the grounds there. A few upsets brewing. Of course, it's only the early stages as the Cats bring it out of defence once again. This time it's in the hands of Strawhair. And he goes up the line looking for a target. And the leading man there in Collins, he's spoiled there by what looks to be McInerney, the goal kicker from before. We'll have a boundary throw in front of the Hat-Trick Electrical Supply sign.
10-point lead to Ringwood over Mulgrave at quarter time as the umpire brings it in. It was a deep throw in that time. We're used to calling shallow ones, but over the top of both ruckmen it goes. And strong gang tackle there by Delfonso and Taylor. Sees the ball handed back by Jared Whitnish. He's wearing number 66. An interesting choice by Jared Whitnish to pick the 66 at Coldstream.
Is that a specific bingo number, or am I thinking of
I'm not too sure.
88?
Yeah, two fat ladies.
He might be an Iron Maiden fan.
It comes out. Chapman's kick was half smothered. He'll go after it again. It's still inside that forward arc. I missed that funny by you, Brash, because you're laughing.
I should.
What was it?
He might be an Iron Maiden fan. The number of the beast, number 66.
I think of 66 as the only day that St Kilda fans had any joy in their life. As it comes out, or year I should say, as it comes in now, quick kick by Bissell's, goes pretty close to the boundary line, right next to the Bendigo Bank scoreboard out there that shows a 5-point lead to Silvan. Over she goes for a boundary throw-in.
You won a couple of Wizard Cups.
Oh, an Ansett Cup.
Yeah,
Thank you
Ansett
very
Australia.
much.
Geez, if they're worth anything.
Not well.
Barging his way through there was Aisley. Little kick off the ground that time by Witchell. Right on his hammer though is Chapman. It comes out, snap around the body there, and a quick goal. A good goal. They just worked it forward, didn't they? And a good goal by Cameron Shield sees the Cougars hit the front once again. They've started the first term off well. They've done it again in this second term. Brash Bendigo Bank scoreboard shows a 1-point lead to them at the 6-minute mark of the second term.
They're working a little bit harder and they've taken control of the corridor here, BWS, and their midfield is starting to run and provide extra numbers at the contest in their forward 50.
Early contender for the Tobin brothers goal of the day there to Cameron Shield.
Yeah, the Cougars, it looks like that might be the scoring end so far, but the Cats, they definitely came into things later in the first quarter, so perhaps that could be the way the game's going to play out, although we would like it if the Cougars kept it in the facility. When kicking to the right of your radio dial.
Sun-drenched Coldstream Reserve today.
It is beautiful. If you're in the area.
Almost need the pink umbrella to use as a parasol.
Wow. Exactly. I actually, Mrs. Tara Kelly, she asked for it up there for the sponsors lunch. Said price line, no, not anymore. So, in the middle of the ground again. Harris just looks like another on-baller as Lehman goes up. He actually won the tap there, Harris, using his leap. Looks like the handball came out from Whitnish, and then Aisley tried to take on the tackler at Delfonso. He was probably pinged, but the umpire says play on. Collins, he then dropped it, and the umpire said play on again, and then Aisley pumps it inside forward 50. Fritsch has got the front spot. Riley does well, got a fist to it. Fritsch will bring it down. He wants to be paid the mark.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Then the umpire says play on, and then snapping around the body is Carrigan. So,
redemption.
All's well that ends well in the end for the Cougars. I think Riley definitely got a hand on it. It's play on, but I don't know how he's got rid of this footy in the end as Darcy Fritsch. No, he's got the handball away, so it's a goal to Darcy Carrigan. And the Cougars, just like that, have got themselves out to a 7-point lead, 4-4-28 to 3-3-21.
I feel like they both touched it on that second bite at the same time, and if they both did, then
if it had been paid a mark, you wouldn't have been against it.
Well said, well said.
Coldstream are now starting to hunt in numbers. They've got 2, 3, 4 around the contest. And Silvan have just tired a little bit. Just can't get their hands on the ball at the moment.
Great to have Wayne Brasher back in the special comments chair this afternoon. Always feel more comfortable when Brash is next to me as the umpire throws it up now. Charging after it there was Whitnish, picked up that time by Deitzel though. Handball away, the Cats go forward. Inside forward 50 they go. Nice fist over the top there by Warren. At ground level though, it's picked up by Kimpton. He paddled it to his teammate, the advantage there in Lemon, who couldn't quite pick it up, but Kimpton went after it again on the right boot, kicks it towards the right forward pocket. Out in front was Lowe. He just couldn't pull it in right on his hammer. Luke London, and over she goes for a boundary throw in.
Lowe's been really impressive as probably the third forward down there behind Bishop and Kimpton. He's probably presented the most. Kimpton's played more of a high half forward role today, Brush.
Yeah, very much the hit up forward, Kimpton.
Still about 40 metres out from goal. It's a 12-point lead to Croydon over Park Orchards. In the big game in Division 1 football today as the ball goes in towards the middle of the ground. Giorgio out-muscled his opponent there. We want to swing on to the left, got the quick handball away. A lot of players around this footy. We'll see it balled up at true centre half forward down Silvan's end.
Bit of a role reversal with the ball, contested ball in this quarter. Coldstream have got it and Silvan just can't get their hands on it. It was a bit like that the other way in the first quarter.
Nicely done there by Harris, got the knockdown, but the kick by Coldstream in towards the middle of the ground now. It bouncing, which way will it bounce? Who wants it? Koga was charging after it. It was a wrong one for him. The kick goes in towards the middle of the ground. A miscommunication by the Catsies. The Cougars charging after it. Hassan overran the pill that time. Diving on top of the ball was Bissell. Will have a ball up. It's moved to the near side of the ground, the grandstand side out here at Coldstream Reserve, and at the moment it's the home side leading by 7 points.
Up they go again. Sheldon Smith got the tap down. It's worked out okay. Whitnish tried to burst away from Delfonso. Then Bissell's got a hand on it, but ended up in the hands of Aisley. Kane Aisley on the left slipper inside forward 50. Frisch works his way to the front. And Ben Riley did everything he could without impeding him, and that nothing worked. And Darcy Frisch will go back and line up for his first of the day, coming off a bag of 20, Brash.
Yep. You won't get 20 today, but he'll at least kick one.
Well, you'd say to have his routine down pat after last week's performance against the Cougars, Kilsyth.
Keen to watch the kicking style as well.
So
got a decent sleeve on that left leg of his too.
In fact, in the Melbourne Nuffies page, they said the team should look at picking him up in the mid-season draft. He comes in, kicks look pretty good off the boot. Umpire works a little bit to the right, but it's straight through the middle. He's got his first of the afternoon, Darcy Fritsch. And the Cougars now, they skip out to a 13-point lead. They've kicked 4 goals unanswered in this term. And Brash, your thoughts on that little piece of play?
Yeah, look, that was a really good piece of play again. Once again, Coldstream had the numbers around the contest, managed to keep running. They had their outside run there, picking up the loose ball, and beautifully delivered into Fritz down in that full forward region. They've just taken control here.
Well, it's a 9-point lead to North Ringwood over Doncaster East down at Quamby Reserve as well. So a bit of an upset brewing. Quick bow going goalward by Shield. They've got 5 in 11 minutes here, the Coldstream Football Club. Haven't they come out to play in this second term? They've gone bang, 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 bang. Fantastic stuff there, and they're spreading it around too as Shield kicks his second of the day, and at the 11.5-minute mark it's now out to a 19-point lead.
Well, they weren't getting any value out of their centre clearances with the dominance of Smith and Lehman in the ruck. All of a sudden that's reversed in the second quarter, and now Silvan are going to have to dig a little bit deep here because Coldstream are on a bit of a run.
Other Division 1 games today, it's a handy 20-point lead to Upper Ferntree Gully over Lilydale. As I said, 12-point lead to Croydon over the Sharks, whilst Mitcham, 9-point lead over Mooroolbark today in the game of the unbeatens. As we
in the end.
No, spat it out as it comes in now. Whitnish brought to ground, high tackle on him, quick flick out the back, sees them go forward again, up towards the half forward line, and a big fly over the back. I'll tell you what, he was the third man deep there that time. There was Cam Shield, and he just kicked a goal moments ago. He's going to poke it forward. It was a bit of a shocker in the end, but he had 3 teammates there, but he couldn't hit the target. Ferguson got the handball back. They're under pressure. He gets it again, handballs it back. Working their way out of a phone booth here is Silvan to kick up towards the wing position. The big man will go after it there in Smith. That time he did well, got the fend off. Here's Whitnish. He'll want to square things up. He'll want to kick for goal. He's going all the way, Whitnish in. Couldn't quite put it through. Last line of defence there was Giorgio on the left boot. He's usually cleaner than that, is Trent. But he found a teammate there in Turnbull who got a little push as he kicked it. An up and under kick up towards the half forward line now for Coldstream. And you can just sense that that the Cats are really feeling the heat at the moment. Can they create something? Can they get the switch? Chapman ran himself into trouble. He should have gone with the first option that time. The player's gone down with a knee to the back as they're going forward again. A short pass on there by Hassan inside forward. 50. Oh, I'll tell you what, a slips catch that time taken by Cam Shield, and he's just the man of the moment at the moment.
Well, we went around in a big loop. Shield marked this ball probably in a similar spot about what feels like 10 minutes ago and decided to hand it off, and it's found his way back. The Cats, I don't know why they went back into trouble there twice, Brash. Had a couple of runners on the outside.
When you're under pressure, you do things that you don't want to do.
Well, they've kicked 5 already. It's a mongrel kick, and it's a mongrel result as well, through 4 behind. Silvan fans go, thank God for that.
A let-off.
14 minutes, crossover on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's a 20-point lead to the home side. Coldstream 6-5-41, Silvan 3-3-21.
Round the ground, scores before straight 24, leading Warrandyte 1-5-11. So Christian Bardley's young Pies doing their thing at home as the kick. It's a dangerous one. Looking for the target there in Mundos. He did well in the end to go back and get it. Darcy Carrigan.
Great tackle.
Lays a pretty impressive tackle there in front of the faithful.
One guy that's really lifted his work rate for Coldstream in the midfield is Jared Andretta in this second quarter. He's had 3 centre clearances, and I think he's touched the ball 8 times.
Yep, been very impressive. The scoreboard operator, and Coldy, forgot to add on that last goal despite the score being okay. Anyway, McInerney kicked the first of the quarter, goes inside forward 50. Big fly out the back there from Bissell's, but all hit the ground. Fritsch, He knows where they are. Bang, dribbles it through, but it's hit the post. So he'll get a behind to his score.
Boundary.
Kick the 1-1 as we go boundary side to Ryan Long.
Yeah, Jaden Bishop, who just got that knee to the back, he was a bit sore coming off that, but has remained on field and doesn't seem to be coming off at all.
He definitely let out a yelp with straw hair, brings it out, runs his full measure, goes short and finds Chapman, who hasn't looked that comfortable by foot today, Brash. So let's see how he goes in front of the community skate park here at Coldstream.
He's looking for options.
Oh, I don't know about him coming inboard, so he decides to just place kick it up the line. No one flies. They all just sort of stand there and wait for it to come down like markers up at school. Handball forward, though. Works its way into the hands there of Griffin. Tobias Griffin. Low ball. Shield.
Good kick.
Oh, he's dropped it. Must have been looking straight into the sun. And Cam Shield been everywhere in this second quarter. Drops a mark he probably should have taken. He's kicked 2 goals, 1 in this term. The Cougars have kicked 5-3 to the Cats' no score. 6-6-42, 3-3-21. Fritsch and Riley. Fritsch just takes it out of the ruck, snaps it over his left shoulder. Across the face, out of bounds on the full. So a bit of a let-off again. The Cats need to keep it at 20 points minimum,
Still
Brash.
worrying signs here for Silvan because Coldstream are hitting that inside 50 many times this quarter.
So Bissell's goes short to Riley. Done pretty well on a man who's coming off 20. Goes shorter still and finds Alexander Walker. So this is better, but where to from here?
Yeah.
As he'll look to come across the ground again. He had Bissell's. He goes further to Schmidt, but he's got 2 to beat. And Lockie Koga came across and knocked it out of bounds for a boundary throw. Well, not even that, but he telegraphed the hell out of it too.
That was such a poor option there.
It was a poor option, and he told him he was going to do it and then didn't do it for another couple of minutes.
Well, the crowd get a glimpse of the action because it's right in front of them. On the grandstand side out here at Coldstream Reserve. Try to bring the ball back into play there. Nicely done there by Koga, but over the back, scooping upon it there is Lynch. On the right boot, he goes out towards the half-back line. A one-on-one contest over the back there was Andretta, who Brash only spoke about moments ago. The second effort was good. Right on his hammer, though, was Deitzel. Players screaming for holding the ball, but Pye doesn't want a bar of that as we check the score out at Nuttawading and Kilsyth, and it's Nuttawading leading by 11 points in the live scores, thanks to the Catfish for sending that one through. Pye throws it up now. Well, it was a bit of a shonky throw up in the end, but it paid to advantage to Harris, who then laid a tackle after the knockdown, and we'll have another restart. But it's Berwick versus Baldwin, and Berwick leading by 9 points 10 minutes into the second term. So the Wicker faithful will be getting pretty excited at the moment as the ball eventually comes out. Quick kick forward, bouncing ball in towards the middle of the ground. Nicely picked up there by Verstegen. They're going to link up well here. Here's Price on the right boot, up towards the half-forward line. This is a good bit of play. This way, that way. Wagner spotted a teammate up who's run inside forward 50, but charging after it was Giorgio, as casual as you like, and then toe poked at 60 metres in towards the middle of the ground. It went through all players' legs. It's still alive out there. Coming out after it was Kimpton. He overran the football. Kicked it out towards Verstegen, who just got dumped and should get a free kick. for not having the football and getting thrown almost.
What I enjoy about this umpire is he pays the free kick and just points the direction of the free kick before signalling what the free kick was for. Really direct, keeps the play moving.
Well, it was Verstegen who was the recipient. They thumped the ball inside forward 50. Nobody was home. Walker gets the handball away. Another chance for Silvan, but just coming onto the ground in the perfect timing was Jared Whitnish, who chops it off and then kicks it over the top. It wasn't his best effort, but he had the players there for support, except now they've copped it up. Now they've got to make them pay here, Silvan. Going for the old 1-2. Here's Warren Schmidt on the left boot inside forward 50. It was a good kick and an equally good spoil there by Liam Koga to see it over the boundary line and out of bounds, 25 metres out from the Silvan goal line.
Jared Whitnish has also had a very good quarter as well.
Double the score. They are Coldstream of the Silvan side, 42-21.
Schmidt probably could have gone the longer option, Brash, get it closer to the teeth of goal. He also, I think it was Kimpton running back. He's a pretty good option more often than not, but
he's absolutely stuffed too. He's just come off the ground to have a breather.
Well, he did incredibly well.
Umpire throws it in, quick kick out of the pack, goes out of that danger zone and out towards the wing position. It was a tunnel ball in the end, picked up by Whitnish, who just seemed to have a mountain of time as he goes in towards the middle of the ground. It was a superb looking kick as well. He's linked up well here. Dan Verstegen, he was off, but then he went backwards in the end, found Carrigan, who's just weighing up his options. A short pass will go on. He found McInerney now inside forward 50. McInerney goes to the top of the goal square. Well, it's as easy as you like when you do it like that, and I think that might be Baton Leach who's taken the mark. In fact, it is Darcy Fritsch, the man who just, casually slots through a 20 goals in a round one encounter, and he's going back. He's sucking in a few big ones as well. Not that he had to chase after it.
From the effort, on centre wing, he laid the shepherd for Whitnish right in front of us, and then he's worked all the way back to the goal square to take that mark while Ben Riley was lagging behind. So
he's as good as marking this one down. So we're certainly calling that the Sportsco Player of the Day thus far. As the ball goes forward, the ball goes straight over the goal umpire's head. That's his second. And on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we cross time on, and it's about that time where we might see if Pesamenti can come onto the ground as well, because that 20 minutes is up. But the Bendigo Bank scoreboard reads 7-6-48 to Silvan 3-3-21.
I think the other thing too, that what Coldstream were able to do is they used the width of the ground then and created an overlay of 2 or 3 players, and what happened was they'd sucked the Silvan players back across one side of the ground and left that side open.
Yeah, you're right there, Brush. They seem to be they just seem fitter as well, the Cougars at the moment. The Silvan look out on their feet. They had it inside their forward 50 and just couldn't go with them.
Well, when you do pre-season training and the coach says do 2 laps, it's like doing 4 out here.
Well, they're running half a marathon. So Shield been impressive this quarter. Gets a centre clearance out in front of Wagner and Carrigan. Wagner laid the shepherd on Lynch and let Carrigan pick it up. And then on the right boot, he just floats one to centre half back, and Trent George had his name all over it. He dropped a mark he usually would take. Koga laid the shepherd. Wagner picked it up, got the handball off. He'll get it back, Wagner. No, yes. Ducked his head maybe, played for it, and the umpire says give it to me. Ball up.
Boundary.
Cross down boundary side to Jared Beedland.
Yeah, Michael Pesamenti is going to be out for the game with that concussion, sadly.
Playing it safe, though, hopefully. We wish him a speedy recovery. Around the Grants Division 1, Montrose 3-2-20, Wonsurna South 3-1-19. That's probably 3 goals in a quarter. That's pretty impressive by the Devils. As around the body goes Aisley, and it's touched off the boot. And we'll have another score on the board for the Cougars, 7-7-49, Silvan 3-3-21.
I think Trent Martin would like this quarter to finish sooner rather than later and get his charges back into the club rooms for a bit of a chat.
Well, he's got the kettle stance on, hasn't he? Hands on hips. He's not happy. He's the senior coach. The kettle. Teapot. That's all right. I knew it had something to do with boiling water. Kettle. It's only 3 o'clock. Long ball. Good kick. Finds a target there in Matteo D'Alfonso, the co-captain of the Cats, and finds Matthew Lowe. He's been quieter, but I guess he's a forward, so he relies on supply. Was impressive that first quarter. Giorgio's worked his way up the ground. He's an impressive unit. He takes off right in front of us. A long kick down the line. Kimpton's out of position. It bounces. Can Bishop get there? Koga's handball intercepted by Kimpton. Gave it off to Lemon. Lemon wants his right boot. Goes back inboard. Runs around. Oh, that would have been Sportsco Player of the Day, but he's pushed it way across the face. Out of bounds on the full. That was better. And that would have been a very, very nice goal by Daniel Lemon, who looks to have recovered from that twisted ankle earlier on. So it's still Coldstream 7-7-49, Silvan 3-3-21.
And you were rising with it as well. It was unfortunate that it wasn't one of those contenders for one of our awards today. Sportsco Player of the Day and Tobin Brothers Goal of the Day. who will be the recipients. Just flicked out the back by Carrigan, found Shield, who gained a valuable 25 metres or so. It's going to sit up again. Roped his own football in the end, but kick was smothered in towards the middle of the ground. Warren Schmidt's come back onto the field. He'll square things up, and that's okay, because his straw hair goes direct this time, thumps the ball inside forward 50. The big man had his eyes all over it in Sheldon Smith, and he'll wind up now, thumps it on his boot out towards the wing position. It was a really good kick too, looking for Whitney. She was trying to play for the free kick for a little bit of holding. The umpire saw it. He's a clever player. That was an experienced professional free kick that was paid there to Jared Whitnish. So, a former Tiger.
Coming up for his 8th possession this quarter.
Choose Tap Stats with Wayne Brasher today. He can do everything, our Brash, and Giorgio, who stands strong. He's been the Cats' best player so far in this first half. There's no doubt about that. He'll wind up now on his left. He'll keep it low, and he went wide. And he was looking for Chapman, who thought it was coming right in his breadbasket, but not to be.
Is there a bit of a breeze down there? We'll ask our boundary riders, because both of the kicks that have come out this pocket seem to have just held in the air a little bit and allowed Coldstream to come across.
It's only a very light breeze down here. I wouldn't say that it accounts for those kicks.
Thank you, Jared.
In other words, no, Matt.
Yep. Schmidt in the ruck.
Big fist that time as it comes out. Carrigan, well, he kept the ball alive and then managed to scramble a kick forward where Lachlan Koga took the mark, but it might have been touched off the boot.
I think he's just said jump ball. Has he? No, he's paid the mark.
I know, he has paid the mark.
That's what I mean. There's no
Lachlan
signal.
Koga.
Well, he's right on the...
It's true, actually.
They're just sort of pointing.
Very true.
He's right on that 50-metre arc here, Koga.
He'll back himself.
He's a long kick.
So Brash is saying distance won't be a problem. He's got the fans behind him. They'll ride this one
This could
home.
be a Scott Demetriou style celebration here.
Oh, it'd be a fair cut in a lap like Scotty does if he did it out
Never
here
came
today.
to Coldy.
Lachlan Koga on the right boot. Gives it everything he's got. He thumps the ball, but he pushed it. Oh, he's giving it a goal. He's giving it a goal. That was not a goal.
Koga's done the old Anthony Rocker and convinced him there.
He has put through his second Koga, but it was definitely
he
a
hasn't,
behind.
he hasn't.
It was a
He hasn't.
behind. I'm calling it straight up. That was a point.
I thought the umpire went to give a behind and then Koga was already complaining.
8-7-55. Haven't they just dominated? 7 unanswered goals now to the Coldstream Football Club. Silvan 3-3-21. All of a sudden, the game's broken out, and I'll tell you what, Brash, it's almost sayonara.
Yeah, well, like I said, nothing like local knowledge, Matt, because they've used every inch of the ground in this second quarter, Coldstream, to their advantage, and they've basically rang Silvan off their feet.
Yeah, Silvan's first quarter was off pressure, and this second quarter from the Cougars has been off ball movement as it's hacked forward by the Cats. But once again, it's Price this time, rebounding for the Cougars. Goes with the inside-out tumble punt to the wing. It'll work out okay, though, although the numbers are with the Cats. And Collins did well, kept it in front of himself under pressure from Verstegen in his 100th club game for the Cougars. And then it's all the numbers once again. And they're coming away. Baton Leach, good smother by Deitzel, but Baton Leach socket off the ground. Giorgio was there with Shield, has been impressive this quarter. Bisels lays on top of it. Baton Leach went back again. That's probably holding the ball. Don't know how he disposed of it, but the umpire says play on. And then on the bottom of that pack is Cam Shield. We've got a score from the CEO. He's flicking them through. Mitchum leading 5-7-37 to Mooroolbark 5-3-33 at half-time. The Tigers keep proving us wrong, Brash.
Is that watch like the bat phone between you and Troy? That's your communication, is it?
I hope not. Sheldon Smith wins the tap down. Collins took on the tackler, didn't get rid of it. Umpire said don't care. Sheldon Smith with another linking handball, the big fella. Coming through Dylan Taylor. Giorgio just swacking on the left boot. And it's going straight away. Lee Green's in the box seat. Oh, it's gone a bit too far off the boot.
No, the watch matches. He's part of that Mac.
Garmin. It's a Garmin.
Garmin, is it?
It's a Garmin. Verstegen in his 100th game. But I know what you're saying, Rash. It's all Bluetooth and connectivities. He goes down the line, finds a target in Witchell. He's about 65 from home.
I'd be going to the hotspot here, Chris Witchell.
Well, it doesn't matter. I think Darcy Fritsch has got away from his man. He's too fit. He's too strong. And Ben Riley looks absolutely gassed.
Yeah.
And 28 minutes into this second quarter, and Fritsch can line up for his third. And they look pretty impressive now, the Cougars. I've heard he's in career best nick. A lot of people say that when you're coming off 20 goals, but he had spent a couple of years at Norwood, so that must be pretty impressive. We're right behind him. Let's see whether he can convince the goal umpire or just kick it straight through the middle. Darcy Fritsch starts it on the right post, and it just works its way back. That one's straight through the middle. It might be game already here. It's 9-7-61 to Silvan 3-3-21. Go on,
I was just going to say, and you hear the crowd cheer for it when it goes through the big sticks
well,
as well.
It is a key indicator there. Anyway, it's the Cougars now by 40 points. They've kicked 8 goals unanswered this term, Brash.
They have, and that's because they all of a sudden, after probably a quiet words of encouragement, let's just say from
Stern?
at quarter time, they've decided to present themselves here, Coldstream, and they've done it in an emphatic way.
Well, I don't think Ryan Long's going to go and have a chat with Trent at half time.
Lucky he ticked him off at quarter time.
As the ball goes almost outside the centre square here, we'll have a restart. They haven't scored.
No, they haven't scored. And interestingly enough, Warren Schmidt's gone in the ruck. They've decided that, we're giving away height anyway. We may as well just put an extra on baller. I'm surprised he's even jumping.
He did all right too, and it's Smith versus Schmidt. Getting that all right so far. There's a tongue twister. Kick goes up towards the half-forward line. 2 players went down off the play. Umpire was right there, said it was okay. So kick goes out wide, bouncing football away from Griffin, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in.
I would be hoping to see the Coldstream full-back and half-back line be full of running in the second half, because they haven't had that much work to do in this quarter.
Sneaking forward, you reckon, Brash? Around the grounds, Waverley Blues 59, Whitehorse 42. Scoresby 5-1-31, Warrandyte 2-8-20, and Donvale still up by 20 points over Ferntree Gully.
Keep those scores coming through all afternoon across our social media channels, which are, Matt?
Eastland FNL on all Facebook, Instagram and Twitter.
And if you don't have it, lock it in now too. There's a little handball underneath by Warren. He sees it over the boundary line and out.
He's had a good quarter, Sheldon Smith. He's deceptive in the way that he's been able to get to contest, but he's also been done very good in the ruck.
Blackburn 7-3-45, Doncaster 5-2-32. Hanging in there, the Sharks.
So Smith over the top of Schmidt, palmed it down, kick goes forward for Silvan. Can they manufacture something deep into this second term? They're keeping the pressure alive at the fall of the ball there. Kimpton brought to ground by his number 9 opponent.
Daniel Verstegen, 100th game today for him.
Alwyn 4-6-30, Berwick 3-10-28, so bad kicking once again from the Wickers.
Yes.
Ball hits the deck out here, 50 metres out from goal.
You're not going to win too many games, Matt, when you kick 3-10, 4-12, are you?
No, Chirnside Park 4-5-29, Forest Hill 10-5-65.
Half-time, Doncaster East lead by 4 points, 7-7-49 to North Ringwood 6-9-45.
That's an exciting game out there, very interesting game. Doncaster East without Sam Rowe and Harry Flynn, 16-year-old, getting a debut for North Ringwood.
Impressive.
Got a bunch of mates heading out there today. Told them to come last week. They didn't. They all go out there today as the kick goes forward by Silvan. And
half-time.
True that. Half-time out here. A scoreless second term by the Silvan Cats, who were leading at quarter time, but what a powerful term it was by the home side. Kicking 8 unanswered goals, the Coldstream Football Club. 2 goals to Darcy Carrigan, Cameron Shield, and 3 goals to the big full forward, Darcy Fritsch. And whilst it's all singles over at Silvan. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on the SEN app and, of course, 98.1 Radio Eastern. 1 half down, 1 to go. We'll be back with all those around the ground important scores right after this.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Celebrate a season of stories at Eastland this autumn-winter and discover a style for any occasion and every member of your family. From romantic date nights to family outdoor adventures or a glamorous evening out on the town, find your new season trend at over 350 of your favourite brands like MJ Bale, Rod & Gun, Maya and Uniqlo. Your new autumn-winter style is waiting at Eastland. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastland Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
With Bendigo Bank's new Complete Home Loan, you'll be completely taken care of. With a completely awesome rate. Complete offset on fixed and variable loans. And a home loan specialist completely dedicated to you. So if you're not completely sure about the Big Four, search Bendigo Bank Complete Home Loan or head into Bendigo Bank, the better big bank. Lending criteria, terms, conditions, fees and charges apply.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He's circled back. He's circled back. Yes! Straight
Back in 10.
Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland. Proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland. Live real.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Hayley Supple Reserve, or better known as Coldstream Reserve, here for some Division 4 Eastern Football Netball League action. And it's the Coldstream Cougars after a slow first quarter, 9-7-61, leading their local rivals, Silvan 3-3-21. Cougars kicked 8 unanswered goals in that quarter, and Darcy Fritsch has 3. He's the main man up for, while Cameron Shields been pretty impressive, kicking 2 whilst playing some minutes on ball. I'm joined by our 2 boundary riders, Ryan Long and Jared Beadland. Gents, what did you see from that first half?
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive turnaround from that quarter time. I thought Silvan were on top of them in their forward 50. They were putting the pressure on. They were keeping it locked in their half of the ground. But massive change in that second quarter, and Coldstream, mainly in the middle, started getting a lot of numbers around the ball. They took control of the corridor, and they started to really just put the pressure back on Silvan, and repeat inside 50s result in goal after goal, and they look hard to beat from here.
Yeah, look, the effort from Coldstream was way up from the first quarter. The numbers, as you mentioned, Ryan, around the ball was much more effective. It all started in the middle. The big guys, Lehman and Smith as well, they had the ruck pretty much sewn up. As you saw in the last part of that second quarter, Silvan sacrificing their ruckman now for an extra on-baller because they know that they're getting beaten anyway.
Absolutely. It's a good observation, guys. I think the biggest part for now for Silvan is that they're probably... What happened is I think both teams kicking to the left of screen have probably lacked their forward structure. I think they get caught because it's probably the deeper end of the two.
Yep.
And I think both teams going to that screen, they seem to know where to set up their forwards, seem to know how to get targets. to the right position to make sure you've got a target at centre wing, centre half forward and full forward, whereas to the left of screen, I think guys are getting caught out as they're coming forward and either having the forwards too deep and not getting a mark at centre half forward, or they're pushing up and having no one to kick to it deep inside forward 50.
I mean, that's what Chad Rogers was saying at quarter time. I was with the Coldstream huddle then, and he was saying that there wasn't enough representation from Fritsch or Koga. So, as you say, the shallow end of the ground definitely helps them with that. It's going to be interesting to see if they can continue that sort of representation in the third quarter when they have to switch ends. But using the vast expanses of this ground, they were able to switch the ball and basically bamboozle Silvan's defence.
Yeah, Silvan look like they're running out of gas maybe a little bit, Ryan. That they were looked out on their feet late in that quarter.
Yeah, quite tired, and just some of the decision making, I don't know if that's got to do with being tired, but a few times they were going on to 1-on-2s. Yep, coming back out of here. Just didn't seem to be, didn't seem to have any sort of plan coming out of their back 50, and that sort of really struggled them in that second quarter.
Absolutely. Some around the ground scores. Premier Division Baldwin have hit the front over Berwick at half time, 4-6-30 to 3-10-28. So the Wickers struggling in front of goal. Noble Park 7-4-46 leading South Croydon 2-2-14. So that's a big upset brewing out there. North Ringwood 4-4-28 leading... that's the score on Sports TG. I think the updated score we've got from Ben Warren Smith is Doncaster East have hit the front by 4 points, and Blackburn lead Doncaster by just the 2 goals. So pretty impressive stuff out there as well. And Vermont lead by 17 points over Rowville, 9-3 to 6-4. In Division 1, Mitcham lead by 4 points, having Rubuck 5-7 to 5-3. Park Orchards trail Croydon by 2 goals. Upper Gully, the last score we got passed through, they were up by 20 points over Lewdale, and Montrose a point over Wanturna South. Remember, these are all the scores we've got updated on Sports TG. This is all we've got coming through for us. Half time in Division 2, Ringwood. That score still hasn't updated from quarter time, where they were up by 10 points over Mulgrave. Templestowe 3-2-20, trail Knox 7-4-46. In Division 3, 6-6-42, Whitehorse Pioneers 20 points down to Waverley Blues it's 7-6-48 to 10-9-69 actually. It's just updated, so that looks like an exciting game out there, goal to goal. 2-9-21 at Warrandyte, trailing scores will be 5-1-31, so you can suggest if the Bloods get their kicking boots on, they'll hit the front there eventually. And Donvale still lead by 20 points according to the website. Sports TG has not been updated in a little bit. And in this division, we know the score here. Forest Hill 6-goal leaders over Chirnside Park, and Kilsyth have come from behind to lead 8-7-55 to 8-5-53 over Nuttawading, and Surrey Park lead 18-11 119 to Croydon North's 3 behinds at half time. That's probably an expected result. The margin is going to be the thing to watch there, not the actual result. Boys, can you see any way back into this one for Silvan?
Look, it's going to be a struggle for them. As you said, they look like they're running out of gas on such a big ground. I don't know if, setting up their defensive structure, having to run across the ground and maintain that structure is going to be very difficult for them if they're not used to this large ground.
Yeah, I can't see them coming back from this. I mean, they've got to start getting their hands on the footy in the middle. I mean, they can't afford to be trying to move all their forward work from coming from the back line up, because it is such a big ground. It's so hard to do that transition. So if they can start winning the ball in the middle, I think they can at least start slow the momentum of Coldstream, who are just at the moment look like they could really blow this margin out in the second half.
Yeah, it's 40 points difference here. It's 9-7-61 Coldstream leading Silvan 3-3-21. And before we go to our break on the other side of this halftime break, it is quarter time at Baronia and Heathmont. The Jets 3-5-23 trailing Baronia 5-2-32. So on the other side of this break, we'll be back with the second half of Coldstream v Silvan out here at Hayley's Supple Reserve on EFNL Game Day on the SEN App and Eastern FM 98.1.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastland Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wantirna. 30 seconds.
To Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. You beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Yes, welcome back to Hayley Supple Reserve here at Coldstream as we're ready for the second half between the Coldstream Cougars and the Silvan Cats. It's the Cougars 9-7-61 leading the Cats 3-3-21. Despite the Cats having a 2-goal buffer at quarter time, I'm Matthew Foddy. I'm joined by Wayne Brasher. Brash, your thoughts on that half of footy that was very, very, very evenly split?
Well, I think 1 quarter each, and then Coldstream have
a bigger win for Coldstream.
A bigger win. I think the question's got to be asked here now, Matt. What does Silvan do? Do they abandon a game plan and play a foreign game to limit the damage here, or do they just keep playing their game and just let the game play out the way it's meant to?
It'll be interesting to see what Trent Martin does. They've definitely got to change something. I was speaking to the boys at half-time about that both teams seem to have set up better in their forward half, kicking to the right of screen. It's a shallower end, even if we're looking at the drone footage here from Lee Green there from LKLM Media, that end's slightly shorter from the centre circle, which means there might be a bit more of a natural setup in terms of where your full forward, where your centre half forward stands, and probably your third tall. Whereas going to the left, it seems like either you present really hard up to the wing and then you turn around and you kick long and there's no one there, or you sit back thinking, okay, well, we're going to drop deep because we're not getting that, that deep forward entry, and then no one's there to mark it on the wing or centre half forward, which means it's not going to get down there. So
that's the thing.
You've got to figure out a way of setting up in your forward half, and I think that's something you can't really do on the fly.
That's what I'm saying. Do Silvan go to an uncontested ball type game, try and keep the ball off Coldstream?
Do they have the skills though, Brash?
That's the $64 question. Do they have the skills? Because I just feel that Coldstream's bigger bodies around the contest was slowly wearing the Silvan players out in that second quarter.
Yeah.
And
but they run better, I think, Coldstream.
When you do, because Jared Whitnish 8-9 possessions in that midfield, four centre clearances. He started to get his hands on the ball. He was creative out here. He created a goal when they had that big switch where they got the overlap, and there wasn't a Silvan player within 20 metres of them. That's the worry for me for Trent Martin going into a second half, because I reckon if he could have blown the siren probably at the 20-minute mark, he
would have taken it. Yeah,
but that what do we call it? Junk time.
Yeah, well, red time.
Yeah, red time.
It's red time in the first half, junk time in the second half.
Yeah, they kicked another 4 goals, and I think coming into the second half, it's almost like Silvan are going to have to go for broke here. They throw the kitchen sink at it and go down fighting, or they go to a defensive mindset and try and...
Yeah, maybe. That's definitely an option, Brash. I don't know, I think their strengths are the contested ball, so they're going to have to go to it, but it's a very hard ground to play a contested style. Ben Warren-Smith's back in the hot seat, and he's going to take us away for the second half.
Second half underway here at Haley Supple Reserve out in Coldstream as it comes. That was a bit of a throw there. D'Alfonso got dispossessed to the football. Going in after it there was Carrigan. He's been wrapped up like a mummy at half-time, and the umpire will come in and restart it.
Maybe Chad Rogers was still having some of those stern words of encouragement, got a bit physical.
Chad's not like that. How good is it, Brush?
Awesome.
As it comes out now. Little kick off the ground by D'Alfonso up towards the half-forward line. Inside it goes, picked up there by Daniel Price. Handball over the top, that was good play. Found London on the right boot. Drives it up towards the wing position. A 2-on-1 situation. The big man at ground level, though, was Lehman. Got the handball away. They drive the ball forward, the Cougars, right towards the Fritz direction. It was knocked away from him this time. Still alive inside that forward arc for the Cougars, paddling it out in front of that player in Griffin who couldn't quite trap the football. Scooped upon though by Baton Leach, who goes towards goal, is going to sit up, and Giorgio was underneath it, and he palms it happily over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in.
Looks like Giorgio's gone to Fritsch in this second half there, Brash, which is it's an early move. I don't know who Ben Riley's on Koga at the moment.
Surprised it wasn't the matchup to begin with, to be honest. The umpire brings it back in. It was a pretty deep one this time. Snap around the body by Baton Leach from the stoppage. Does it go all the way? It doesn't. Giorgio, that big fist of his. He's got a big leg. He's a big unit. And it threw for one behind. Bendigo Bank scoreboard 10-7-67. The home side today. They lead by 46 points over Silvan. 3-3-21. Almost 2 minutes gone, third term.
Giorgio ready to bring it back into play. Been one of their best. Ben Riley wants it out here. He's going to have to go that way. They've got a few numbers and some height. Riley's run too far now to be the target, so he's going to go in the lemon direction. Coming from his Bishop. Flew and got it on the second, third grab. Good mark. Better start here from the Cats. He goes down the line. The target took beautifully weighted quick. Found Deitzel. He dropped the mark though. Got the handball back to Turnbull. Turnbull turned into a Carrigan tackle. Didn't have the footy, and the umpire says high instead. So he got away with that one, Turnbull. Deitzel probably should have taken the mark in the end earlier. Matteo D'Alfonso is just hanging around. But instead it's a short ball from Turnbull. Finds the target in Deitzel. Marks at that time. Plays on immediately. Looking to the centre half forward area. Schmidt worked his way to the front. He didn't even know where the footy was. Just turned his back at the right time. Takes the double grabber. He's 55 from home. Short ball looking for Turnbull again. Will he find him? He will. So good start from the Cats here after half-time. Would have copped a fair old bake, you would have thought, from coach Trent Martin. And now Darcy Turnbull. He's kicked one today. He's going to go back and line up for his second. He's about 35 out on a 45-degree angle.
Gutsy move there by Schmidt, put his body on the line because he didn't know what was coming, and it took a really good guard, Mark.
So Turnbull, important kick this for the Cats. I think that's fairly obvious as he comes in, runs around a little bit to the right, looks a pretty good kick off the boot. That is straight through the high diddle. So we're away in the second half, and it's the Cats. They are now 4-3-27. They trail by 40 points. The Cougars 10-7-67.
Just what they wanted.
I think that might be wrong. It's 9-8-62, sorry.
Yeah.
The Cougars, they lead by 35 points.
Yeah,
and
9-8 to 4-3.
There's only been one goal kicked to the left-hand side of the radio dial today, Brash.
Yeah, it is, but that end always seems to be the scoring end too.
Absolutely. I think, again, like we said, that shallow pocket, mate. And the boys did say that there was a slight breeze heading towards Civilisation, Lilydale, which is that end of the ground. I knew that'd get bruised, although that, as BWS said last week, that's not really a high marker, is it, for a giggle, as it's back in the centre.
No, I didn't say that.
Carrigan diving in on it.
He gives a good courtesy laugh, Bruce.
He does, that's what I mean. Bruce usually starts it and then there's a bit of a wave, but...
And if you don't get a giggle out of Bruce,
well,
then
you get well off the mark. So Lehman up against Harris again. Harris jumps over him, got the tap down. Might have figured something out there, Harris. Then beat him on the deck as well. The umpire's planted. He says, no, give it to me. Got the sort of green and black slippers on, the umpire. Meshing in well with the uniform, the car sales umpire's uniform. Harris jumps into Lehman. Lehman got the tap, and there's going to be a free kick for a block to Lehman. I think he's just been penalised for being really big and strong. The handball's given off to Alfonso. The Cats are running here. Good kick into the middle. Bishop was very quiet in the first half. He's found it in the second half. Goes, that's a horrible kick. That's Aaron Norton style. And it's marked on defensive half back there by Tobias Griffin.
And Griffin goes out towards the wing position. Wagner out in front. Good Duke's got the handball away, and now they're off. The Cougars up towards the half-forward line. Trying to squeeze a kick out there was London, but it went off the side of the boot and nicely chopped off there by D'Alfonso. Called to play on, keeps the ball low, spearing kick. It went straight down the throat of Daniel Lemon, who dropped what he should have taken, got a little kick away. It was pretty clever in the end. Deitzel took it, didn't go far enough, but he had time to get boot to ball and drives the ball up towards the half-forward line over the top there of Dan Price, scooped upon by Kempton to the top of the goal square, bouncing football. Goes out of bounds after hitting the behind post.
Not a bad result there for Kempton. As soon as he didn't kick it through the middle, that's what he would have been wanting.
Trent Martin's wanting his side to take chances and go for the switch, and they're not doing it because I don't think they have the leg speed.
You're not allowed to play golf.
No, you're prohibited from it. Berwick are prohibited from kicking it through the big sticks. They're 3-11.
God.
By throws it in. Lehman knocked it over the back. Nicely done. Quick kick goes across the face of goal now for Silvan. Bouncing football. Who's going to have the numbers? It'll be the Cougars this time. The kick goes out, but straight down the throat of Daniel Lemon, who takes it 55 metres out from goal, weighing up his options. Might be too far out to score here, but he'll go back and back himself in. A lot of goals over the journey. Short passes on. It was a good one too. He's probably gained about 6 or 7 metres and squared things up a bit. Matthew Mundos takes the mark, who doesn't look too confident.
Only got is that a bandage or is that just a one bike short?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one. It's a fair call, but I'd say it's a bandage. Let's face it. As he winds around now, he kicks goalward, but he pushed it right. He got the purchase, but not the result.
And he didn't do the Koga pleading, did he?
No.
You got to be kicking that end thinking I'm a sniff.
9-8-62. Coldstream leads Silvan 4-4-28. Work there by the runner to retrieve the football this time. It'll be Daniel Verstegen, game number 100 today, to bring the ball back into play. They're liking the grandstand side. We're getting a fair bit of the ball today, which is good to see. Carrigan, the mummy, on the left, up towards the wing position. It was a beautiful kick in the end. It gained about 50 metres or so. Will it stay alive for Jared Whitnish? It will not. And over it goes for a boundary throw-in. 7.5 minutes gone here in the third term. The Premiership quarter on EFNL game day. It's Division 4 football at its best today, and it's the home side. Coldstream 9-8-62, leading Silvan 4-4-28.
Thrown in, centre wing. Harris goes up, but Lehman won it down. Carrigan came through, just sort of forced it forward, but he's met by Silvan legs. And we'll have a ball up. The man at the bottom of that pack looks exhausted. We've only had 7.5 minutes since the half-time break for the Cats.
I mean, this grant is like the MCG of the Outer East, isn't it?
Well, don't say that because we know Graham McCallum will be listening and I'll have to handle it for the whole week. I'll get messages. They've got it copyrighted.
Yeah, but I articulated the area.
Oh, the Outer East.
I said Outer East.
Okay, good work, Brash. I'll get him on that.
I just blocked him.
Unfortunately, as a major, I'm going to call this major sporting organisation. Anyway, thrown in. Sheldon Smith this time. Got the tap down. Whitnish. Hasn't got a man, neither is Daniel Price, and that's who he got the handball off to. And then Price drives it to centre forward. Wagner did beautifully. Looks like he's wearing a very old jumper, Wagner. I thought he paid. That's a mark, isn't it, umpire? Umpire said it bounced. Carrigan came through, picked it up, handed it off, and then a low spearing ball.
I want to see that again.
From Jai Deacon. He's across the face for a behind. That's a mark. That's definitely a mark.
Oh, it did hit the ground.
On the second.
Is Wagner wearing a jumper from 2004, by the way? He's got the sewn-on number as Giorgio brings it out of defence, and he's found Lemon out the back. That's a beautiful kick from Trent Giorgio. The number's sewn on. He's got the wrong sponsor.
Or the old iron.
Exactly, what could be the iron-on number.
You're imagining it, Matt. It might be a Furphy.
It might be a Furphy. Have we got them as a sponsor? Is Kimpton. His body sport over the line, boundary throwing right in front of us, centre wing. Cougars 9.963, Silvan 4.428. 9 minutes gone, third term. You could work on that, Brash. Get a sponsorship with Furphy.
Yeah, good.
So could this man too,
chop,
probably.
Chop. Pye throws it in. Comes out Carrigan. Going after it. Just got the fingernail to the ball to see it over and out. Right in front of our boundary riders today. Ryan Long and Jared Beanland. Doing a great job boundary side. Getting a bit of advice from behind the fence here. The players on the throw in. Whitnish going nowhere. D'Alfonso almost riding him. And we'll have a ball up. Keep the scores coming through.
Aaron Mallett's just kicked his fifth, apparently, in a game that only had 5 goals each side at half-time. So.
Oh, really?
Kick goes along the boundary line and over she goes. So just forward to centre.
Both sides have gone into a bit of a defensive mindset since half-time, Matt. Neither side wants to take ownership of the corridor again.
It's all tightening up in Division 1. Lewerdale lead by 1 point over Upper Gully, 35-34.
The Grog squad will be happy about that.
Croydon by 10 points over Park Orchards, 46-36. Mooroolbark by 7 points over Mitcham, 52-45. Wanty South 6-6-42 to Montrose, 6-2-38. What a division today.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Griffin basically did a pirouette but couldn't keep the ball alive. Pye to bring the ball back into play. Harris will go up against Smith, who got the knockdown, and then Harris had a fresh air shot. Little toe poke forward by D'Alfonso was okay. Bishop overran the ball. Lemon came in. His handball was a fresh air shot. Kick out of that danger zone straight down the throat of Jared Whitnish, who wants to go on with it and did well. Got it to Carrigan. Uses the line, a spearing pass, but a timely hand to football over the boundary line and out of bounds. And having a rest, have a rest for you. Such good work there, young Matthew Mundos.
So Templestowe 3-2-20, trail Knox 7-4-46, and Baronia lead by 15 points over Heathmont. Ringwood lead by 35 over Mulgrave.
Very good. Keep up the good work there. Around the grounds, Matt Fodia. Handball now. Deitzel on the right boot, kicks the ball very, very deep, working his way into the play and getting just boot to ball was Lachlan Lynch, and it just did a wrong and at the last moment and through for one behind. 11.5 minutes gone in this third term. It's 4-5-29 Silver, 9-9-63 Coldstream.
Price brings it out, dangerous kick, just got to its target in the end, Andretta. Meanwhile, Whitehorse 7-9-51, trail the Waverley Blues 11-10-76, Scoresby 7-2-44, lead Warrandyte 3-9-27. Still no update from Donvale Furniture. That score's been the same for quite a while as the Cougars just pop one in the air very dangerously to the wing. It's worked out okay though. Liam Koga got the handball off and they link up. Sheldon Smith, the link man, got a handball off to Griffin. Spearing ball up the line, hits Lockie Koga on the chest. He plays on immediately, stepped inside his man in Bissell's. He's hot. Dixon got the tackle just in time, but Koga's kick was good. Found McInerney.
He didn't mean that either.
Sorry, Baton Leach, sorry. Little short ball. Oh, they're everywhere. They're ruffling it off. Deacon runs in. Off the boot.
No.
Cross
they
the
might pay
face. Cross the face.
It's the same goal umpire.
It was the same goal umpire. Cougars let the Cats off the leash there. Sorry, off the hook. 9-10-64. Lead Silvan 4-5-29. Brash. Silvan got to work both ways.
Yeah, they do. And 2 points to Deacon this quarter probably should have been goals.
So, it'll be Giorgio. who owns the man bun. He was the first man in Australia to do it, basically, and he's kept it for about 10 years. As it comes right in front of the broadcast position here, it was almost a throw. Comes back now. The kick goes forward for Coldstream. Big fly over the back and good spoil that time there by Harris. At ground level, though, scooped upon by Aisley. Aisley goes deep into the forward line looking for Fritz. He's right on his hammer, though, was Giorgio, who goes after it again. Laid a pretty good tackle, too. The umpire said play on. Fritz over the top of him was Collins. Well, they've done well here, the Cats, to get it out of that danger zone. Riley now gets it up by hand. Well, putting himself under a fair bit of pressure that time was Strawhair, but he went out wide and spotted up his target in Delfonso.
Matty Lowe.
Matty Lowe, sorry, it is. Spot on, Brash. Good kick. The kick goes up towards the wing position, and it was it was a mark that should have been taken, but it was quickly mopped up there by Daniel Price, who got the ball in towards the middle of the ground. Kick goes forward now for Coldstream over the back there. Fritz, who just gave a nice little tap, a little bit of a love tap to Ben Riley, who gets the handball off after receiving the free kick to Warren Schmidt as it goes in towards the middle of the ground. He couldn't quite hit the target. Hitting the deck there was Koga on top of his opponent there in Daniel Dixon. Umpire said play on. The kick goes forward now back towards Riley. He's had a fair bit of the football in recent minutes. Giorgio got a fist on it, tried to get it out of that defensive 50 zone, but they've kept it alive. The ball goes charging forward. What a strong tackle that time there by Harris, and he's rewarded as such because stripped of the ball was Bradley Batten Leach. It goes backwards now to Giorgio on the left boot, kicks it straight down the throat there of Daniel Price. He dropped what he probably should have taken. Lowe was there to mop up though, got the hand pass to Ferguson on the right boot, goes back down that wing position. Big fly over the back there by Dixon. He'll go after it again. He picked it up well. He charges through the middle, finds Schmidt. Schmidt now has a little bit of time this way, that way. He had the poise on the left boot, goes up towards the half forward line. It was a good kick too, and out in front there was Lynch, who spotted it back up Schmidt, who'll go after it again. This could be player of the day. This could be Tobin Brothers' goal of the day. He goes goalwood. Schmidt bouncing football and through for one behind. Let us all down. Let's cross down boundary side to Ryan Long.
Just an update on Alexander Walker for Silvan, who just came off hobbling before. Looks to be getting a bit of work done on his calves. We'll keep you updated when he's back on.
On his calves?
Calves, sorry.
Well, car could be in for a service too today as well.
I wanted him to come back and say.
It's incredible boundary riding to find that out as the Cougars bring it out pretty easily in the end. It was brilliant play from the Cats to work it down for a behind.
You don't get away with anything, Ryan.
Exactly. So chipped up the line. Great work by Harris. And if they can get it over the line, they will. Really right on by the Cats. They've lifted this quarter, Brash, but they need more reward for effort if they're any chance.
Yeah, they have. They've stemmed the bleeding, as one would say.
What's the go with the blue paint? I've seen that on a few grounds this year as well.
Well, maybe they're all hiring the same lines marker. Sheldon Smith does his own crumb. He gave it up to Whitnish. Taylor was cheating a little bit forward of the balls. Bissell's, he had his name written all over that. Led his opponent, Lockie Koga, to the footy. And the Cats, Harris does well to get a hand on it.
I think the Limel's quite expensive, BWS, the white stuff that they use around the ground. I think it's classified now, I think, as a pesticide or something for some reason.
You are genuinely an encyclopedia, Brash. Sheldon Smith just says, bugger this hit-out stuff. I'll take it out myself. Gave it off to McInerney, to Aisley. And then Aisley's one comes back in the direction there of Hassan, who gave it back to Griffin, who popped it up the line. Koga should get there first. This time it does. Nice chest mark. Could push back a little bit quicker. Now he does. Fritsch comes at him. Riley's dropping back in the hole. Riley should get there. No. That's a beautiful kick and a beautiful lead by Darcy Fritsch. That's good synergy from the two key forwards there for Coldstream. Riley did everything right. He got in the hole. He got in the way of Frisch's leading pattern, but he just was able to burst past him, and Riley looks pretty knackered.
You know, he already conceded 2 metres, Giorgio, there, and the way the ball was delivered, he was never, ever going to get a hold of it.
So Fritsch, right next to the van, from about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle, starts it right, and it keeps going right. Might not even make the journey. Wagner's front spot, taking it was Cardamone, got it off to Riley in the end, who, as BWS said, has been pretty frequent with the footy, and apparently the ball's going over the line for a behind. So one more score to the Cougars. They are 9-11-65. Cats 4-6-30. So, yeah, better performance this quarter from the Cats. Both sides have looked better going to the right of screen.
Are there rules about when people can run water on the ground?
Yeah, there are.
Okay, so that's why the Cats have got a really good thrower of the water bottle standing behind the line.
Working hard as Collins kicks it to centre wing, but it's all the Cougars. Kimpton lost his footing, and they'll come back inboard, and Dredder takes the mark. 70 or so from goal. Pops it up to Frisch. Schmidt did well to get back in line. Probably could have got a free kick. Giorgio came through and kicked it about 75 metres to the wing. Koga got beaten by the bounce. He got clean bowled. He'll go back and pick it up, though. Plenty of time, and the Cougars have really set up well behind the ball early. Took on Taylor there, or Kimpton, sorry. Gave it off to London. He's got Whitnish all on his own. The kick won't get to him, and Dredder will get there. There's so much space. Handball over the top. Whitnish now on the left foot. Comes inboard looking for McInerney. Had plenty of time and space to go back and get it. And then on the left boot, goes in the Koga direction. Or he might have given away a free kick for one to the throat, but it doesn't matter. The mark's been taken out the back there.
Leach.
By Baton Leach. I thought Koga might have, if we watch the replay screen here, he might have just given one to the chops of the man on him there. Right in front. I think he did. But the mark's been taken by Bradley Baton Leach. You're right about the water boy. He's very confused about the rules. He's not going out there at all. He's actually demanding the players come to him, which is interesting. But nonetheless, Bradley Baton Leach has a chance to kick his first of the day. And probably, if it wasn't already done, put the final nail through the Cats' coffin, and he does, straight through the middle. They're 10-11-71. The Cats are 4-6-30. We've gone 19 minutes in this third term.
Good mark there by Baton Leach. Really strong contested grab, and was rewarded for his effort there.
So, I got the feeling that Silvan really came out in this third term and probably could have put a bit of scoreboard pressure on. They kicked that first goal and
had a couple of near misses. Now
we find ourselves in time on virtually, and the Cougars are winning the quarter. So it's virtually, I'm not going to call it impossible, but it's a long way to come back from this. But spinning on a thrup there was Delfonso, did well, kicked it inside forward 50, but to no avail.
Aaron Mullet's got 7 out of Mooroolbark's 10 goals.
What's the score out there, Matt?
We'll chase that up for you. It's just the CEO only texted me Mullet updates.
Yeah, well, come on, Troy. We need to get the full scores coming through because the game was pretty close last time we got a score.
Tigs are a chance from my men on the ground.
Oh, that's right. You've got a few besties that follow the Tigers, don't you?
Got mates who follow a mate. It's at 10-4-64. Aaron Mullet's got 7 of them. Mooroolbark to Mitchum 7-9-51. So the game's still close. It's just Aaron Mullet's deciding he's going to win it himself. Other scores haven't changed from our last previous update. Last previous?
Very good work there. Lehman went up unopposed, which is almost worth doing every time. As it comes out now, Deacon being relatively quiet today.
Blackburn kicking away, 11-7 to 5-4 over Doncaster. And Berwick 4-16-40. Trail Baldwin 6-10-46.
4-16.
It must be pissing rain out there in the inner east.
Is that at Baldwin?
It's at Baldwin, yeah.
Around the corner from, maybe we'll do a Baldwin game one day right near where I live.
Or Surrey Park.
As it comes out, yeah, good call. Lehman.
Well, you are going to get your chance. Queen's birthday.
Is it out of Baldwin this year, is it, Brush?
I think so.
Said it with confidence.
There's a big fly over the back there by Bissell's. Use Lehman as a step ladder as the kick bounces towards the half-forward line and just nicking the boot there of, I think it was Koga, yeah, it was unlucky over the boundary line, out of bounds on the ball.
Bit of a boil over happening here at Scoresby. They're 9-2-56. They're bucking the trend, Brash. They're kicking straight. They lead Warrandyte by 23, despite having the same amount of chances.
Kick goes up towards the half-forward line. Big flyer over the back. It came down. Koga got the handball away. Barging his way through there was Price, who coughed up the football to Lemon, who also equally coughed it up. Fresh air shot that time by Taylor, and the ball scoots out into the middle of the ground, looking for Carrigan, who waited for it in the end. Now it's a chance for the Cats through Mundos on the right boot, up towards the half-forward line, and standing there and taking the mark was Daniel Price. And Daniel Lemon really should have probably put a contest in at that exchange, because he just thought it was going to come straight to him in the end. Price keeps it low, and it was a good pass too. Finds Griffin. Tobias weighing up his options now, right in front of the brethren. Coldstream faithful. As kick goes, hugs the line, and good mark taken there by Chris Witchell. Out in front.
Ex-Mitchum Vermont boy.
Yes. Came across with Jared Whitnish. So Witchell on the right boot now, kicks the ball towards the Fritz direction, had one bite at it over the back there. Carrigan was in there, coughed up the football, came out. Little quick out of that danger zone, but straight down the throat there of Witchell again. So he'll get another chance to send the ball forward. Kept it low that time. Let himself down with the kick. Andretta on the right boot. Kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Nobody's home except for that man, Trent Giorgio, who takes a timely mark. 23 minutes tick over on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 41-point lead to Coldstream.
They're just stagnant in front of the ball, aren't they, the Cats, Brash?
Yeah, they just can't
all basically outside of that first quarter, they've
had no run.
And that's what Beto was stating that before. Daniel Lemon was just waiting for the footy to come to him, and he just watched Daniel Price just move across in front of him. Like you said, could have at least tried to take the body, and that just looks like a team who are out of gas. As I think it's Lehman back into the ruck. No, it's Smith with the red boots. Doing well there was Matteo Delfonso, the co-captain of the Cats, got it forward. Dylan Taylor's done well to get in front of Price and then socket it further forward. Will he keep it going? Well done by Price. Used his body beautifully, and then a bit of tunnel ball action. Got it through the legs to Griffin, then got it back. And then they'll just watch it go over the boundary line inside forward 50 for the Cats.
See, that was an opportunity, another opportunity there for Silvan, but there wasn't enough players in support to help Taylor then.
So, thrown in. Forward pocket. Slap forward there. Lynch does well, turned his man, but the ball got knocked out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. So, once again,
it's actually been a
Mullet's
day.
now got 8, apparently.
It's actually been a day where the key forwards really haven't had much of a look in, have they?
No, that big ground, unless you're really running a good kicking efficiency, you're probably not going to get that service just because of, you can get lost. The ball can take a while to get down to you. It's hard to time your lead. But when they have got it down, Darcy Fritsch does look like he will tear some sides apart on the away from home, I think.
It's almost like your half forwards and your wingers are the type of players that are going to kick goals on a ground like Coldstream.
Exactly, as this ball's going to go over the line for another boundary throw. That might even be out on the full, could be pushing the back, could be anything. And they say it's going to be a boundary throw-in. To be fair to the boundary umpire, he was blocked by about six players. We're going to toss it in again. So 25 minutes gone in this third term. The Cats have done better. It's still not nearly enough to get back into this one. It's 41 points of difference. Handball by Cardamone off to Matteo Delfonso. Swings it to the half-forward flank. 2-on-1 though. 3-on-1 as Price got it from Koga's spoil. Wheel back onto his right and got met. And that's that tackling pressure that was there in the first quarter. And Lee Kimpton, beautifully well done. He'll go quickly into the forward line. Good kick. Went over the head in the end. Lynch or Lowe was there. And they just bring it out. Bishop putting some forward pressure on, but there's just numbers everywhere for the Cougars. And they bring it out once again to centre wing. And it's marked by Witchell. He takes off. Good shepherd from Koga. Then Witchell just around the corner to Carrigan. They're toying with them now. Carrigan, left foot ball, long inside forward 50, running back. Shield, great mark. Fantastic mark from Cameron Shield.
He's been a real live wire this afternoon, Cameron Shield.
Kicked 2 goals, 1 in that second quarter. And Darcy Fritsch did really well there too. He didn't lead up with the ball. He left that space 30 metres out for him, Brash to run into. And it was a beautiful kick from Carrigan. If Shield didn't get it, I think it would have bounced in the hands of Fritsch anyway. So
they really did hurt him on the turnover there, didn't they?
They did. Lovely kick from Witchell too. Great vision. So comes in Shield. Kick looks pretty good off the boot. The umpire does not move. Bang. He's got his third. They've got their 11th. They're 11-77. They lead by 47 points. Silvan 4-6-30.
11-11. Lord Nelson.
Heathmont 5-6-36. Trail Baronius 6-7-43 at half time. Vermont lead Rowville by 27 points.
Oh, the Eagles have flexed their muscle there.
Do you and Ray have a bet today, Brash?
No, the Baird Brasher Cup wasn't up for grabs this year, mate.
I loved it how someone called it the Memorial. Umpire throws it up now. Big fly there. Big fist by Smith. Comes out. Kick up towards the half-forward line. Trapped there by Cardamone. Got it back to Riley on the left boot. Uses the far side. And it was a good kick too. A good spot up. Getting underneath it. Strawhair pulls down a good mark.
Kilsyth lead by 9 points over Nunawading going into the last quarter.
The Cougars have done well to get back into the contest. There's a kick going straight down Wagner's throat, who got the handball away to Carrigan, who for mine is best on ground. Kicks it into the middle of the ground now. And that man again, Carrigan, as the siren sounds to announce three-quarter timeout here. The first term went 30, the second term went 29, the third went 27 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And it's a 47-point lead to the home side at three-quarter time on EFNL Game Day. Coldstream 11-11-77, Silvan 4-6-30. The major goal kicker, Shield, has 3, as does Darcy Fritsch, and 2 goals to Darcy Carrigan, whilst Darcy Turnbull for Silvan is the only major goal kicker. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on the SEN app and, of course, 98.1 Radio Eastern. 3 down, 1 to go. Keep the scores coming in, and we'll give you all those updates and more right after this.
Only 19 shots from 53 inside 50s, down on clearances and can't lay a tackle. What was the seniors coach going to do? Jono surprised himself and everyone else. The spray he gave the boys at halftime worked. Well, he did finish it by saying he'd shout him a post-game feed and frothies at Eastland if they won. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's Eastland, proud sponsors of the EFL. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
At Yarra Valley Water, we know reducing your shower time, or for some people, show time, to 4 minutes can save you an average of $255 a year on water and energy bills. Save the performance for the stage. Shower shorter. Save water.
Do you feel good about your bank? Because there is a bank you can feel good about. They share their profits to fund big community projects, small community clubs and vital emergency services. They've given $250 million to help Australian communities thrive. They have all the products and tech you expect from a big bank, with service you don't. It's Bendigo Bank. Feel good about who you bank with. Try Bendigo. Search bendigobank.com.au or search Bendigo Bank near me.
Hello, I'm Peter Hitchener. 9 News invites you to join our team nightly at 6 for Melbourne's #1 news. Tony Jones with the latest sport, including the footy, plus Lavinia Nixon's weather forecast. 9 News, proud supporter of the Eastern Football League.
You've all been to funerals of family members or friends, right? Do you start thinking about what you would want at your funeral? It's a bit like when you go to a wedding. At what stage do you start planning?
Have an open and honest conversation with your loved ones. Celebrate your life the way you want, like I did with a fixed price funeral plan from Tobin Brothers Funerals. The price doesn't change and your life will be celebrated your way. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
At Eastland, we believe one day isn't enough to celebrate all that our beautiful mums do. That's why we're celebrating Happy Mother's Days, the festival of love she deserves. From dining to fashion, homewares or a pampering session, Eastland has all your favourite brands ready to spoil mum. And if you need inspiration, check out our online gift guides. Spend $250 and you'll go in the running to win a $50 Eastland gift card till May 8th. T's and C's apply. Find out more at eastland.com.au. Eastland, live real.
Sprained your ankle, bursting through the banner? Broke a finger, high-fiving the ruckman? Or did you run into the goal post again? For bumps, breaks or bleeds, be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department. The preferred provider of emergency care to the Eastern Football Netball League, you'll generally experience shorter wait times. You don't need private health, but there is an out-of-pocket fee. Be seen sooner, close to home at Knox Private 24/7 Emergency Department, 262 Mountain Highway, Wanturna.
The senior coach has taken the team to Eastland for a post-game feed. If only they had this kind of teamwork on the field. They've just ordered starters to share, plus frothies for the whole table. And now Steve-O's chucked a prawn to Macca. He circled back. Yes! Straight into his pie hole. Yo, beauty! Good form, boys. For all of life and footy's little moments, there's...
Coming back in 10.
Eastland, live real.
Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Welcome back to Hayley Supple Reserve. It's three-quarter time out here on EFNL Game Day, and it's the home side Coldstream leading this one by 47 points, almost 8 goals. We're almost going to call this one over and done with. players making their way back to position now. Major goal kickers for Coldstream. 3 goals to Shield and Darcy Fritsch, who kicked 20 goals last week, so his tally stands at 23. Whilst the 2 goals to Darcy Carrigan, who got wrapped up like a mummy after half-time, and he's playing a sensational game, Wayne Brasher.
He is. He's probably one of the best. Well, he's in the top 3 on the ground this afternoon.
Let's cross down boundary side. Chad Rogers is down there with Jared Beanland.
So that second quarter was definitely the difference. Third quarter a little bit more quiet from you guys. What are you going to try and recapture this quarter?
We just want to try to make use of the big ground. We didn't really switch it. We went straight back down the line. So we want to use our feet a bit better and just switch the ball so we get some more better looks going forward.
Start walking off, guys.
Yeah, thanks for your time.
Oh, well, I wanted you to keep going. It's just the umpire's waiting for you guys to make your way off the field so we can walk and talk. It's all learning curve stuff out here at Hayley Supple Reserve today.
Yeah, what I think Chad was wanting there was wants his player to use the width of the ground a bit more and create that overlap.
Ryan Long was at the huddle with Trent Martin and Silvan.
Yeah, similar thing with Trent Martin as well. Using the ground, moving towards the boundary more, said they've been bombing it straight down the line and not giving their forwards much of a chance, and it's been hurting them on the rebound. But he was happy with the effort and the work rate. Much improvement from the second quarter. But yeah, just wants to keep the effort up, start using the ball a bit better and not getting too hurt on the scoreboard.
So, siren sounds to announce the final term out here at Hayley Supple Reserve. The home side lead this one by 47 points. Can the Cats get themselves back into the game with a couple of quick goals? But Jared Whitnish has got something to say about that. Gave the don't argue, then the handball backwards. So a chance for Coldstream now, right in front of us here in the broadcast position. Paddle, paddle, paddle. Over she goes for a boundary throw in. Thought Ryan might have tried to snaffle the ball there. He didn't move. There he goes. And he threw it, so he gave away a free. Umpire to bring the ball back into play. Leroy Green from LKLM Media right on top of the play here. It's good use of the body that time by Lehman. Got the handball straight out of the contest to Whitnish, who was barging his way through, and he dropped the pill like a hot potato. Caleb Collins, has he not... What's happened here? Has he given a free... He's given a free kick for a high tackle.
Gee, that wasn't I.
No, holding the man, I
holding
think.
the man.
And then Dylan Taylor's given a little bit of lip and has been rightly marched.
Well, Whitnish has had a fantastic game. And he kicks the ball inside forward 50 now. He kicked it to like a hot spot where Darcy Carrigan just comes in over from the side and says, I've got 2, wouldn't mind 3, as he heads towards being the Neverland Store player of the day.
I have a question. Why is no one on Darcy Carrigan?
Because there's no one, like I said earlier in the game, that's got a tank like him that can keep up with him.
No. He doesn't have the biggest body type, bit of a pocket rocket, but he's certainly built well. As the goal umpire did not move, and he gave a little shh signal as he slotted that one through. 3 goals now to Darcy Carrigan. The first of the final term goes the way of the home side. 12-11-83 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard to 4-6-30.
I think it's just the 2 for Carrigan, but he's been everywhere, so it'd be a very easy assumption to make for them. Around the ground scores, Knox look like they're going to get their first win. They're up by 5 goals over Templestowe. Ringwood cruising against Mulgrave, similar margin. As I mentioned before the break, Baroni are up by a goal over Heathmont. Mooroolbark by 2 goals over Mitcham, 65-51. But Mullet has 8 and has stood on someone's head. They've rotated the 4th man through him. He looks to just be planting himself in the square. All other games in that division nice and tight. As we go up in the middle again, Lehman and his man Harris. Harris ended up doing pretty well on the floor there and got it off to Delfonso, who goes inside forward 50. All bouncing around. Kimpton being quiet, coming through. Bishop slaps it on the boot and he's kicked it through the middle. Immediate reply for the Cats. They jump to 5-6-36. They still trail by a hefty 47 points, but nice little bit of work there. Coming through was Luke Hassan and Bishop landing the right spot at the right time. That kick was a bit of a tumble punt, but it went straight. That's all you can ask.
I thought it might have been Lowe that kicked that goal.
No, it was Bish.
Bish.
The Bish.
So, back in the middle, bit of drone footage from LKLM on our screens here. Wonderful stuff from Lee Green.
Just can't tell the jumpers on numbers on his view.
So,
Loves his toys.
We have had reports from the MCG that Gold Coast have defeated Collingwood
comfortably too.
So I'm sure the Westpac Centre will probably be getting torn down as we speak.
Oh, paying $2.35 as well.
What, you mean the house that Eddie built?
Yeah, it's falling around. It's falling apart without him there. Whitnish came out of the middle, got a little kick forward. Bissell's is there. Shield did well. Schmidt tackled him. Handball from Wagner wearing the 2001 Premiership jumper. And then it's a great tackle coming in once again from Shield.
GWS are thumping Adelaide as well.
On straw hair. They are. Good little comeback from earlier in the year. Lehman slaps it forward. And it's cleared somewhat by the Cats and lands fortuitously in the arms there of Dixon. He gave the handball off to the runner, Delfonso, and he pumps it to centre half forward. They're doing it right. Now the Cats floating back into the hole, but not taking the mark was Warren. And then forcing it forward was Verstegen. Matteo Delfonso been trying hard all day. The Cats co-captain done really well. Handball back. Dixon, little short chipping ball out wide, finds a target in Kimpton. Once again, he's been good higher up the ground today, Brash, but not where you want him.
No.
So, although probably at Silvan he could kick the goal if he was just outside the arc, but he's about 65 from home. Long ball. Bishop's got the sit. He'll fly. Brought it to ground. Probably left his run too late. Handball comes out to Price. He wanted the boundary line and did it brilliantly there, the veteran, didn't he? That was definitely deliberate, but feigned disgust at his own effort, and it's a boundary throw in deep in the forward pocket for the Cats.
Pyer to bring the ball back into play. Bit of holding in the ruck contest that time, or no, we're going to do it again. Take two.
Berwick 5-16, trail Baldwin 7-11. That's 53-46 for those not being able to add up.
That works better. It's a 7-point margin as it comes in now. Price, little toe poke off the ground. Nicely done there by Schmidt, got it away. Fresh air shot that time by Taylor, brought to ground, and we'll have a ball up.
Tell you what, he's been on the end of some very, very heavy tackles this afternoon, Taylor.
Pyer just clearing the way. Been good umpiring today.
Yeah.
We're back by 20 points now.
Strong tackle that time by Bishop.
So it looks like with Croydon up by 10 points over Park Orchards, it looks like Scott Dimitriou's men will be out the only side undefeated in Division 1 if those scores are all correct.
So
you're such a trusting soul.
That comes out now. This time it was tried to be trapped by Bishop. They're still alive in there for the Cats as the kick goes around the body and out muscling. It was Andretta, who's as strong as an ox, as we know.
Well, he's lucky the umpire didn't play on, because he was looking to play on.
Waverley Blues up by 22 points over Whitehorse, and Scoresby by 10 points over Warrandyte.
So Whitnish on the left kicks it out towards the Harris direction. On the right, in towards the middle of the ground where they found McInerney. On the left boot, kicks it up towards the half forward line. Deep it goes towards that Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Trapping it nicely there was Aisley. Thought he might have a ping on that one. Now the kick goes in towards the forward line. 35 metres out in front. Cameron Shield.
I've liked his game today. After quarter time, he kicked 2 in that second quarter. He's presented as a small forward, but also done some good pinch hitting on ball. It's hard to pick a best player.
He's absolutely stuffed as well.
He is stuffed, but he's handed off a couple as well. So he's kicked 3 goals and could have easily had 4 or 5.
So to become the leading goal kicker on the park today, kicks it very low, looking for Koga, fingertipper over she goes for a minor score. 7 minutes tick over on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Final term out here at Hayley Supple Reserve. 84 plays 36, a margin of 48 points.
It's a tie kick, and another man who's no doubt going to sleep well tonight is Trent Giorgio, returning to the side today, and that's it. Well, Cameron Shield said, I want another go. And Trent Giorgio obliged, and Carrigan's on short, but no, because then
for it.
Darcy would level him on 3 goals. So Shield's going to run around. This time it looks better off the boot, but it's fading right. And he's kicked his 3rd behind. So he's 3-3-21 today, Shield. He's closing in on the Cats, 5-6-36.
He's actually kicked 3-4.
Oh, has he? 3-4, there you go. So he is closing in on the Cats there, 5-6-36. Trail the Cougars, 12-13-85.
Can always rely on Brash for a correction.
Oh, well, we are missing Brad Henderson this year, of course, so I'm no doubt he'll be listening. And he would have loved that from Brash as Giorgio comes wide looking for Lynch. Ball goes out the back. Bishop should get there. Didn't want any of the oncoming traffic and just took it out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
I actually reckon he's had not a bad game, Sheldon Smith in the ruck.
He's been very good. Would you say he or Lehman?
Oh, I think he's been more better value around the ground.
Yeah.
And some fancy-looking ruby red slippers as well.
Oh, yeah, they're nice. Got the little bit of the high ankle too, contrasting well with the blue as Harris won the hit out, and then Aisley was there, handball in the middle. Hassan has time to poke it inside forward 50, and Whitnish just got rid of his opponent way too easily. He's quite a slim figure, is Jared Whitnish.
You know who he's taken to the ball? Dorothy.
Oh, wow.
Jared Whitnish is going to line up for his first of the afternoon. Kicked it behind in the first score. He's going to play on, runs to the 50, left foot, smothered. Great smother there from Alex Walker. Socketed off the ground. That's all Cougars. Austin McInerney, he's played on him. Well, I thought he was off his line. He has. Now the umpire's going to give a 50 for movement on the mark, Brash.
Yeah, no, Lee Kimpton ran across the line.
Yep. Didn't stand.
No,
and,
he did a Jimmy Steins.
He did. Aussie McInerney. That's a short 25. I guess it's a big ground, so everything feels a bit different. Handball off to Carrigan. His handball to Aisley. Winds up from 50 there. This is... they're all just raffling it off at the moment. Well done by Ben Riley. Last-ditch effort. And we'll have a boundary throw-in inside the forward 50 for the Cougars.
Well, the team that plays together, shares together. That's what they tried then, Coldstream.
Well, maybe we should have gone close at home for you, Ben. It's 7-12-54 Baldwin, 6-16-52 Berwick. I'm telling you, they've found the big sticks at three-quarter time. Clint Evans has come down and walked them to the goal square, Bruce, and said, these two ones here, get it through the middle of them as we're pinballing around on the half-forward flank for the Cougars. Came out there, good handball by Mundos over the top. Taylor, been trying hard all day for the Cats. Whacks it on the left foot, attempted torp, ended up being a mongrel. Price is there. Liam Koga did really well on Schmidt. Takes the two tackles and we'll have the ball on centre wing.
Right in front of us here on the broadcast side. Try to restart this one. Keep the scores coming through via social media at EFNL, at Footy EFNL. Pye throws it up at the stoppage. Quick kick out. And stretching for it there was Shield, who kept the ball alive, did he? And that was fantastic play. Bouncing football now. Koga, he kept it alive as well, but Giorgio was there just to go thank you very much as he slammed it on his boot. Spotted up a target there in Delfonso. So those two players having very serviceable games today. Commentators curse is going to see it cop it up now. Hassan and the big man Smith did well. Brash's favourite as it comes out towards the Lemon direction. He's trying to pick himself up. He does, but he can't get anywhere because Daniel Verstegen's got him. Let's cross down boundary side to Ryan Long.
Yeah, Jackson Harris just got a knee to the leg there. He's about to come off now. I think it's just might be a corky.
Yeah, it looks that way around the grounds.
Scoresby 9-2-56. Lead Warrandyte 7-12-54. Tightening up there at the Scoresby rack.
Oh, they're drawing blood, aren't they, Warrandyte? As it comes out now, little handball out wide up towards Chapman, who sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Kilsyth 78, lead Nunawading 69, and Forest Hill are doing it comfortably against Churnside Park, 47-point leaders.
Byler. Throw this one back in.
Berwick have hit the front, 7-16 to 7-12.
Oh, the 25 people out there will be getting pretty excited as it comes out now and hits the deck.
Haven't got the Tigs there.
Huh?
Haven't got the
Never
Tigs.
a big crowd out at Baldwin. Never.
They're all inside.
Fantastic facilities, though.
Yeah.
Did you see the prizes at their raffle last night? The grand prize was a brand new Jeep Cherokee. At Coldstream, they're walking around with the meat tray.
I know what I want, the meat tray.
You're due for a new car, Brash.
No.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's a bit weather beaten, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right. A to B.
No, he's got plenty of money. You should buy a new car. Or buy me one.
Especially with gags like that one. You're here all week.
I hope we're keeping these for a highlights reel of Brash's gold towards the end of the year. Taking Dorothy to the ball. I'll never forget that one as it comes up now. Shield on the right boot. Kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Knocked away there from Whitchell. He'll see it over the boundary line and out.
Lee Green's got a comment from upstairs. He reckons you get less service issues with the meat tray. So in the long run.
Yeah, well, coming from a guy that asks deep and meaningful questions all week, I expect nothing less from him.
Yeah, having a dip at Lee.
Oh, I'm not a big fan of the D&M, old Leroy. As it comes out now, kicked by
Did you see
Bissell.
some of the questions he asked? What's the meaning of having a yawn?
Well,
yeah, what does that mean?
We're discussing it right now.
Deitzel.
Now, back to something more familiar here. Silvan, look, I reckon they've done all right in the second half. They've limited the bleeding zone and the damage, and they've held their end of the bargain. I think Trent Martin will be really happy with the way they've fought out the game.
3 goals to 2 in the second half, so pretty much that 8-goal second quarter is the difference.
Yep.
So right in front of our boundary riders here. Try to bring the ball back in. Nicely done there by Smith. Palm out. Came out towards Deacon. Over it goes for a boundary throw in. Any more around the ground scores?
Berwick 64, so 8-16, 64 lead ball and 7-12, 54. That's a massive boil over.
That's 10 points.
It is 10 points.
That's the longest. That's the longest. Oh, well done, Brash. Well done. You did specialist maths at school, no doubt. As it comes out towards the Witchell direction, picks the ball up now. Handball out wide, bouncing towards Deacon, who slammed it on his boot inside forward 50. Nicely done there by Fritsch, who got a little in under handball and loping in towards goal and keeping it low is Carrigan. And now this time I'm keeping the third strike against his name. 3 goals to him, and that is potentially the goal of the day, or even the play of the day, I might call it, from Sportsco, as they linked up well. Clean possession and easy as you like. We will give third goal to Darcy Carrigan. Bendigo Bank scoreboard, 15 minutes tick over in this final term, and we're sort of going a little bit off track and having a bit of fun here and there, because the game is well and truly done and dusted. 13-13, 91 to 5-6, 36, but there's still some interesting scores coming through.
There are. South Croydon have fought back. Noble Park lead by just 9 points. I'm sure we'll get a Doncaster East North Ringwood score coming through soon as well.
Now I know why Raymond's not sending me... Oh, he's just sent me a...
Croydon are up by 20 points over Park Orchard, so Mooroolbark look like Mooroolbark kicked away to a 30-point lead as well, so they'll be the only undefeated side in Division 1.
Text from Ray Baird. 3-quarter time, Roval 6-5-41, trailing Vermont 12-6-78, saying umpires love Vermont, giving them everything.
Ray also texting the 3-quarter time score with 5 minutes to go in the game, which is interesting.
That's because he still presses the numbers. Like the letter S, you have to press number 7 4 times.
In the middle of the ground here on the cricket pitch. Well done by Andretta. Got it out to Aisley, who's impressed after quarter time when he gave us the pre-match rev up as Andretta burst out of a couple of tackles. Good work by Bissell. Came across the smother. Ben Riley looking very gorgeous skin colour, isn't it, on Ben Riley? Cardamone got the kick forward in the middle of the ground. Dylan Taylor been very good for the Cats. Bishop came through. Lehman, the big fella, the big tower, he came tumbling down and then just swatted Jared Dietzel off him. And we'll have a ball up in the centre square down to Jared Beadland on the boundary.
Yeah, so we've got Brad Battenleach off the ground with ice on his left ankle. It seems like he's going to be out for the day.
Yep, smart work there from Chad Rogers. Rest one of your best. So it's going to be a blocking free kick going the way of Silvan. Once again, I think Jesse Lehman is literally being...
Well, I'm 25, no?
He's being...
I think he looks a bit dumbfounded by that decision.
Well, he's being disciplined just for being bigger than his opponent. As Harris goes short, looking for Kimpton. He's been well held all day. Hassan got the handball off to London in the bright green boots. Out wide, looking for Witchell.
He's come alive in the second half, Witchell.
He has. Gives it back. Warren. Koga having to come a long way from home to find a kick of the footy here. Lachlan Koga kicked 2 goals today. One went through the middle. One was touch and go, let's say, as he's got it defensive side of the wing for the Cougars. Goes the switch. It's a massive switch. Beautiful. It's a good kick, though. He's a beautiful kick of the footy. Finds Daniel Verstegen. They might try and get a goal in his 100th game, Brash, with the match at its current standing. Carrigan, well done, coming off his man. Brilliantly there from the Silvan Cats perspective from Straw Hair. And, commentator's curse straight to Lockie Koga, who's just working his way further and further back to try and get a kick here. Finds Lehman, the big fella in the middle, gives the handball off to Hassan. Hassan goes to centre half forward. It's all the Cats. Straw Hair impeded his own man. Cam Shield runs to 50, lowers the eyes and puts it across the face for behind. He's kicked 3-5 today. The Cougars 13-14, 92. Silvan 5-6, 36. 18 minutes gone.
I will say this. Ray's starting to really come to terms of how to use emoticons too.
Emoticons?
Yeah.
Giorgio. had a bounce he didn't need to take as he thumps the ball every bit of 60 metres. Out the back here is Turnbull, who's kicked a couple of goals for the Cats, uses the line well. Schmidt.
Warrandyte have hit the front.
Oh, that'll be massive comeback for Warrandyte if they can get over the line. And Schmidt has kicked the worst kick of the day, out of bounds on the full.
Blackburn by 10 goals over Doncaster to get back on the winners list. Doncaster looking like a long season ahead for the Sharks.
The Red Jackets will have smiles on their faces once again. They're going down to the Doggies on Sunday, which was Anzac Day. So they're going backwards.
Haven't heard from the Catfish in a while. Sure he'll give us a full-time score from Nunawading and Kilsyth soon.
Yep, keep them coming through, everybody. Plenty of great games today. Plenty of close scores too. Nice handball that time by Mundos. And now in the middle of the ground, they'll work themselves forward. Is Bishop on the right boot. He goes inside forward 50 over the back though. Mopping up nicely there was Koga, who just ran straight into Schmidt, who will go after it again. Snaps around the body, Schmidt, and he has missed it to the left side. And through for a minor score. Bendigo Bank scoreboard. 19 and a half minutes gone here in this final term out at Hayley Supple Reserve. I love that name. 5-7-37 Silvan to 13-14-92 Coldstream. Ball to come back into play shortly.
3 points for Warren Schmidt today.
They use the new rule to their advantage and drive the ball right out towards the wing position. It's gone almost towards the interchanges here, and the quick kick in, keeping it alive there was Shield, who got it inside. Nicely done by McInerney, linking up in handballs, eventually in Koga, who just broke the tackle nicely. Then the little chip kick was worked out favourably for them as McInerney handballs it away to Carrigan. Carrigan on the left boot, goes towards the Fritsch direction. Over the top of his head it goes, barging his way forward though, and trying to get it into the play. There was McInerney, kept alive by Giorgio, who will never, ever, ever use his right boot. So a little left foot check side, hugging the boundary line. Wagner got the handball away. Carrigan's by himself, 40 metres out. He just goes for it, shoots towards goal, and he misses. So again, another minor score to the Coldstream side, who probably should have kicked another 4 or 5 goals on this Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They've kicked 15 behinds today, 13-15-93 to 5-7-37. More scores around the grounds.
Yeah, Moorobuck absolutely home now. 13-9 to 8-9 over Mitchell.
How many has Mullet kicked?
Well, 8 was the last. 8 was the last one we'd heard. I'm sure Troy's got one AirPod in listening, so he'll be able to update us soon. Trent Giorgio
done a good job.
He's done a good. Darcy Fritsch only kicked 3 goals in a game where there's been 28 scoring shots. So that's pretty. I think the Silvan defenders could probably hold their head up high. Brash. It's been the middle and then probably just their ball movement.
Well, Darcy Fritsch kicked all his 3 goals in the second quarter.
Absolutely. When Silvan went to water,
and then maybe like BWS said, maybe they should have made the move earlier and put Fritsch on.
Giorgio on Fritsch, yeah. I think it was just in the middle. They've just been outclassed in the middle. Kimpton's got it on centre wing. And the kick was smothered off the boot. He'll go back and get it. Now he forces it forward, but not exactly how he would have wanted it. And the Cougars will bring it back again. Griffin dribbles it along the boundary line, trying to find Wagner in that very, very old jumper. He must be playing in the Vets later on. Slaps it forward, keeps it moving. They've done pretty well. And then it's run over the boundary line there. Jai Deacon escorting it over the line. 13-15-93. Coldstream leads Silvan 5-7-37.
I think Chad Rogers will be happy, to get a really good, solid hit out by a top 3 or 4 side. It's probably what his side needed this week. I mean, they're going to get the points.
Yeah.
And they've been workmanlike. He'll be happy about that.
They have, as it's slapped forward again. Beautiful piece of play there by Griffin. Gave it off to the man running inside forward 50. Long kick, looking for Whitney, who's looking for a goal. Well done, coming through Bissell's. It's going to sit up for Giorgio, is it? He just soccers it out in front of himself with that left peg. Who will run onto it here? The Cats lead the race. Well done. Really good effort out there in front of, it looks like it's Mundos. Got the handball off. Back to Giorgio. Sorry, it wasn't Mundos, it was Turnbull, who's kicked 2 goals today. Turnbull goes short, finds a target. Here's Mundos. He's away now. Boots it inside forward 50. Bishop on the lead, takes the mark. 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. Beautiful stuff from Turnbull and Giorgio on centre wing for the Cats. And a score from Baldwin there, 60. 8-12-60, but Berwick 9-16-70. Can the Wickers hold on? That'd be a massive first win in the Eastern Football Netball League, taking down Baldwin, and it'll put Baldwin to 1 and 2, Brash, but we'll talk about that no doubt either during the week or after the game, as Jaden Bishop comes in, 45-degree angle. Distance shouldn't be a problem. For his second of the quarter, no chance off the boot. Hooked it wildly left. Lockie Koga would have celebrated, but nonetheless, it's a single behind. 13-15-93 Coldstream, Silvan 5-8-38.
Still not convinced it was him that kicked that goal either. We'll have to go back to the tape on that one.
We've got time.
We'll put a bet on as well.
Shock me.
As the kick goes out, straight down the throat that time of Shield.
It's a pity then, because that was their best piece of play all day, really, Silvan. They moved the ball really well.
Hold on there by Smith, Brash's boy, who coughed it up. He'll get another chance to go at it, though, and good handball too. So running in shotgun there was Shield on the right boot, kicks the ball inside forward, 50 or thereabouts, bouncing football away there from Fritz, who couldn't quite pick the ball up. He's got Witzel there, who laid a good Shepherd as well. And this man's just everywhere at the moment, Shield. He's very quick, kicks it across the face, and 50 metres out from goal, takes the mark is Griffin, who's kicked one today, and is not interested in passing this one off. He's going straight back to have a ping. So he backs himself in here, but he's going to link up there. Nicely done there. He found Verstegen, who wanted a goal in his 100th game. He shanked the kick, but it went straight down the throat of Jared Andretta, another former Mitcham player who's slotted in nicely into this team.
Talk about lucks of fortune there.
Well, when you play in front and the ball slips out, you've got the best chance of getting it, don't you, Brush?
You certainly do.
So Andretta, Premiership player, will come in now. They're close to the ton. Well, they're not going to get the ton, though. The siren sounds. Can they get to 99? They can get to 99. 14 goals they finish with the Coldstream Football Club. Congratulations on a fantastic performance today. And they did it by 61 points in the end. 14-15-99 to Silvan 5-8-38. Of course, Silvan going in at quarter time with the lead, and an 8-goal second quarter really set the tone, Wayne Brasher, for a Coldstream victory today.
It did, and look, Coldstream are very, very impressive when they got their running game going in that second quarter with the overlap. They got their outside run going. They won the contested possession and uncontested possession in that second quarter, kicking 8 goals to keeping Silvan goalless and scoreless, actually, and that really was the imprimatur for them to set up victory this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. It was Silvan, I think what's happened is Coldstream, as Chad Rogers said, once they spread the ground and actually use their home ground advantage to what it is, an advantage, they're too good for opposition teams. They've got enough marking tools around the ground that they can have blokes leading up to the wing, leading up to centre forward, and then one in the goal square, which Silvan probably didn't have. But when they got sucked in early to actually going down the line and playing a bit of a physical game, other teams can match them. Once they spread it, they're way too good. This will make Brashwell too. Vermont have won by 71 points over Roeville so Roeville just the 2 goals after quarter time, which is disappointing for the Hawks, but Vermont 2-1 now. So I think that's the way for Coldstream to move forward. They've just got to make sure they keep using the full expanse of this ground, Brash, and spread the field.
3 points the margin at Quamby Reserve. North Ringwood coming home.
Okay.
So anyway, Brash, Coldstream, if they can use the width of the ground to their advantage, they're going to be better than any team in this division. If they come down to the level of their opponents, they bring their opponents into the game.
I can only see one other side that could challenge Coldstream up here.
Let's cross down Boundary's side because Jaron Beanland is on the play there with the player.
All right, I've got Darcy Carrigan down here. Great win by Coldstream today. What do you reckon was the main difference there?
I think we came out real hard, and our pressure around the ball was probably what is a barometer for most teams. That's how footy's played now. So I think when that's up, everything sort of flows on from there, sort of thing.
Do you attribute the size of the ground and you guys getting used to that as part of the reason for the win?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a big advantage. Training on here since November, it's just even just drills, you just get so much fitness out of it. So yeah, it definitely helps us.
So the confidence is growing for the rest of the season for you guys?
Yeah, so this was obviously our main test so far, come against a couple of teams that are struggling a little bit. So yeah, it was good that we came out and really played well.
Thanks very much, Darcy. Reckon you were best on ground. Enjoy the win.
Well, he's called it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jared, we better go with Jared, or else Darcy's going to be annoyed.
I don't think Jared's too far off the mark there.
No, there was a few competitors.
North Ringwood are in front by 3 points. There's about a minute to go out at Quamby.
Well, can we get a couple of your mates on the live call, or you don't back them in?
You wouldn't want to do something like that.
The other thing
started
is,
on the Bundy about 6 hours ago.
I think the other thing too is that look, I know.
Oh yeah, we're doing something.
I was just saying before, I think there might be only one other side that will come up here this year,
and Surrey
Park, because I can't see any other side, right, beating Coldstream up here this year.
I don't.
The girls were on the ground.
Yeah, girls footy is straight after.
It's
Coldstream v Fair Park, two informed sides.
There is the best colour hair on number 18 for the Fair Park side out there that I've ever seen.
It's sort of like a greeny bluey colour.
It is
nice.
sensational.
Fair Park under Simon Alloy, who's a prominent social media pundit, I would say. Been vocal against these sports promotion.
29-minute mark, still 3 points North Ringwood.
In front or behind?
In front.
I think we're going to get the song here.
Got the song here, guys.
Fantastic.
Interesting song down there. It's a bit of a different one as we go through the bird's nest here, thanks to Lee Green. Surrey Park, well, their ground's also big, not quite as big as this, but I think it's just going to depend on how a side, being willing. I think you've got to be fit enough. You've got to be fit enough, don't you, Brash? Because after the quarter time, they started running and Silvan just could not keep up. They were just out on their feet.
And if Silvan and Surrey, and if we're saying now that both Silvan and Surrey Park and potentially Forest Hill, right, are going to be the 4 finalists making up Division 4 this year, then I think any of the other sides that come up here, I just can't see them winning. I just don't think they have the fitness.
Well, they don't have
North Ringwood defeated Doncaster East by 3 points, 14-14 to 14-11. North Ringwood will be on EFNL Sunday tomorrow, without a doubt.
Absolutely, Robbie Nahas. He'll be keen. That sounds like an absolute ripper. So, or we might even get Lee Robinson. I'm sure he'll want to talk to me about that after putting them bottom of the ladder in my pre-season predictions, Brash. But yeah, I think teams are just going to struggle with their fitness. Like it's just, and that's just something that happens the lower you go. Blokes are less fit.
But Darcy said, he even admitted it, that this ground is a definite advantage for them.
Yeah.
And it's worth probably maybe 5-10 goals in percentage as well.
Well, absolutely. Because by the end, if they'd kick straight, they could have really piled them on, because it turned to that sort of training run that you see maybe in your under-19s come the last quarter in a few uneven games where, blokes are basically lining up in the corridor. You take a mark 40 metres out rather than going back. You've got 3 blokes lining up 20 metres out directly in front. So Noble Park have won over South Croydon. That's a big win. So Noble Park, both sides now go to 2-1. So that will leave only Norwood undefeated after they had the bye. So that's pretty big. So Blackburn, Vermont, Noble Park, South Croydon will all be 2-1. Which that's pretty impressive there. North Ringwood will be 1-1. Doncaster East 1-2. Baldwin 1-2. And Rowville 1-1 after the bye. Kilsyth have got their second win. They've won by 44 points over Nuttawading. 18-19, 127 to 12-11, 83.
I think
some scores coming in.
I think too, Matt. Whilst we've spoken about Coldstream, I mean, look, for Silvan, even though they walk away empty-handed this afternoon, they still showed enough that, right, against most other sides in this competition, their forward line will still be as potent as most of the others.
Lee Compton got his hands on the footy heaps, didn't he? He was one of their best players. As we've got a, here we go. It's just something we shouldn't be saying on air from the Doncaster supporters. Another unhappy loser commenting about the umpires. As we were saying there, Brash, Lee Kim's actually got his hands on the footy, but you're right. Jade Bishop only came into the game in the last quarter when the game was dead. I thought, like I said, their defenders did really, really well. It's just about, you've got to find more forward targets as that final score comes in. Berwick won by 11 points, 9-12 to 10-17. They kicked 4 goals, 1 in the last quarter. So they found their kicking boots and hit the front. So yeah, I think that the key to Silvan will come away from this and go, we could probably play better than that, and our defence was good. Got to get fitter.
Yeah.
And probably got to get cleaner by foot. They just turned it over a lot, and you can't do that on a big ground.
But I think, as Trent Martin alluded to, that he did play some younger type players as well that probably didn't have the body or the match hardness against a seasoned side like Coldstream.
Yeah, he mentioned, didn't he? And I think there's a few injuries as well, like Trent himself not playing. There's a couple others. So
usually Giorgio would kick it out from Silvan to the goal square at the other end as well.
And that's the thing. There's those 5 or 6 players that might not be required. Like Chapman, for example, was very serviceable, I thought, in defence, but you could tell when he needed to just kick the footy, he wasn't comfortable. And like Ben saying, at Silvan, there's probably a chance where they bypass him as a ball user. He's purely a lockdown defender.
I think too. Look, Giorgio coming off injury too. Did a really good job on Darcy Fritsch after half time. Fritsch only kicked his 3 goals for the match in the second quarter when Coldstream were on a roll. But he's been held goalless in the second half. So I mean, look, they've gone down by 60 points, but there's still pluses for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Some more scores around the ground. Wanturna South look like they're going to get their first win. That's another tip for me, Brush. I'm on fire today.
You are.
12-8-80 to Montrose 9-5-59. So I think we might try to get Steve Cochran on as well tomorrow. Croydon, I'm not sure how up to date that score is. They're 20-point leaders over Park Orchards, whilst Mooroolbark look like they're going to run away with it 36-point leaders over Mitcham. And I'm sure those scores are round about full time given the time of day. Lillardale just the 1 point in front of Upper Gully, but that score hasn't updated for almost an hour, so don't take it as gospel.
No.
As we go around further down the divisions, Knox, they're going to get their first win of the year. Ringwood, 6-goal leaders over Mulgrave. Again, that score hasn't been updated in a while. Whitehorse and Waverley Blues was quite the shootout, but Waverley Blues look like they've won by 4 goals. Scoresby 11-3-69, Warrandyte 9-14-68. So that could be a final score. Hopefully for Warrandyte's sake, it's still going. And Ferntree Gully have apparently had a 10-goal final quarter to run out 14-12-96 to 7-11-53 against Donvale. And as we mentioned, Forest Hill, Kilsyth, Surrey Park, and Coldstream, the winners in Division 4. Surrey
They did
Park
that last week, the Gully. They came home with a wet sail in that last quarter as well, and I think they kicked 7 goals last week in their victory over Waverley Blues.
Is that a final score of Kilsyth beating Nunawading?
It is. The Catfishers tweeted through 127-83. The Cougars kicked 10 goals to 4 in the second half.
Oh, they'll be pretty happy down there in the Paisley household tonight.
Well, won't they? He's got his media pass too, so he can stop bugging me.
Well, it's 2 wins for Kilsyth now.
It is 2 wins, and that's all you can do down there. You just got to beat the teams that are around you. So their next big step, I think they've got Forest Hill coming up, so that'll be a real measure of where they're at, because it's unfair to mark them on their game against Coldstream and Croydon North and Nunawading. But Nunawading, look, 12-11-83. They put it after their start. Probably would have liked to run out winners. But look, it looks like we're going to have even divisions across almost all divisions, bar maybe this one, with Coldstream looking like they're far and away the best side. But Premier Division, only 1 undefeated team, and they've only played 2 games, Brush. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, this is exactly what we were hoping for at the start of the year. I think when, obviously, with the salary cap down, that reduces the quality of player that you can have at your club. It gives your juniors a chance to make their mark, and a lot of clubs will have done that already this season. And the exuberance of youth, will always produce unpredictable results. And this is exactly what we've seen so far in the season. And for mine, I love it.
Is the Berwick Baldwin result one of the biggest upsets in Eastern Football Netball League history, or is it too early to say, given that we don't know that much about Berwick?
Well, I think when you consider Berwick's injury list, they might take this as one of their famous wins, because, like we talked about...
Well, it'll be famous regardless, due to it being the inaugural one, but I get what you're saying, yeah.
I mean, look, to go down to Baldwin, a trip in itself, they would have had to have packed a big lunch to take down with them.
Yeah.
To get a win against Baldwin, I reckon Rodney Eade would have been penciling in this one as a win.
Absolutely, and now at 1 and 2, that's not panic stations, but it's danger zone for them. In Division 1, are Mooroolbark now the Premiership favourites? They'll be the only undefeated side. Croydon are building, and it's looking like that decision to go to that game between Mooroolbark and Croydon in a couple of weeks is going to be a good one. But Mooroolbark, from all reports, they're playing scintillating footy, Brash.
Yeah, when we spoke to Scotty the other night, he was really impressed with the way that and the trajectory that the club was heading on.
I think we might have the 20-goal kicker from last week.
A week too late.
Coming on board to have a chat with us down here. So
is that Ryan and Jared? Have you got us, guys?
Yeah, down here with Darcy Ridge. Another great game again. Another 3 goals to the tally. I thought the difference was probably that second quarter where the 8 goals straight. What was your assessment of that?
Yeah, we just worked really hard in that second quarter and managed that separation in the forward line, which really helped people like myself just get that separation from the opponents and take a few grabs there.
And just on the expectation with the club at the moment, I mean, that's 3 in a row now. That's Silvan, one of your the stronger teams in the league. What's the feeling in the rooms right now? Is there a real belief that this could be a year that can go real deep in September?
Yeah, definitely. I think our main thing is just not getting too far ahead of ourselves. We knew it would be a test today, and we got through that, so we're happy.
Darcy, it's Ben Warren-Smith here. Congratulations on another victory for the side today, and it must be nice having some of these players from other clubs come and join you boys. Of course, a handful of players coming across from the Mitcham Football Club in Andretta and of course Whitnish and Whitchell, so they just top you guys up nicely, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's been awesome having them down. They're getting around the boys really well, so yeah, they're a good fit.
And Chad, at quarter time, give us a rundown on what might have been set out on the park, because you guys have come out and kicked 8 goals to nothing in that second term and really set the tone for the afternoon.
Yeah, I think we were a little bit soft second to the ball, so just gave us a rev up, just go back to basics, and went on from there.
Darcy, one of the things that impressed me about you in this afternoon was your ability to use the width of your oval to full advantage, and you were able to get many overlaps and uncontested possession, which led to repeated inside 50 entries.
Yeah, definitely. That was definitely a focus at quarter time. Just use our ground, stretch them out, and get the handball receives going.
Darcy, it's by all reports, mate, this is the fittest you've ever been, and obviously you had a couple of years at Norwood and now you're back here at Coldstream. Do you think the year off was a good chance for you to just reset and rest the body up?
Yeah, definitely. Struggled a bit with injuries, so just good getting the body right, and things are going really well for the club.
Now, you were counting them last week, weren't you? You had to have been.
Even 20.
Yeah, the boys were getting into me, so yeah, the crowd was yelling out. I sort of knew where I was, but it was good to get that. Something I'll look back at in the coming years.
And obviously, no doubt, all the guys are hanging around to watch the girls who are out on the park at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. This is our first year of the girls, so they had a win last week, so we'll see how they go today.
And then finally, mate, it's a good momentum builder for the club, and obviously everyone's running. You got Kelly Tarr pushing everyone forward, mate. Is anything big planned for tonight? I think there was a few sponsors up there with the local rivalry today.
Yeah, we'll hang around for a few beers. We had a pretty big function last week, so just a bit of a rest this week, and go from there.
Big function after 20 goals. How big was your night, mate?
Well, I don't think you bought any. Did you match it? You don't have to mention what you matched, but...
I went for the 20 beers and ended up pretty messy.
Started kicking boots went off the shoe, mate. Thanks for joining us, Darcy, and good luck for the rest of the year.
Cheers, boys. See ya.
Fantastic stuff.
He was good. They're good out here, Coldy. It's been a good day.
Brash, we always enjoy ourselves when we come out here, don't we?
Oh, yeah, this is, I think, our third time BWS in 5 years we've been out here.
Yeah,
and we've been pretty lucky with the weather too.
It's a great spot that we get to call from out here. Prime position on...
I think Scoresby have won, guys. Sorry for interrupting you, BWS. No. They've gone live on Facebook of men entering the change rooms dubiously.
Yeah, no, that's not a loss.
But they've only recorded 4 seconds of it, so if we can get a call out to the social media manager at Scoresby to keep recording, that'd be great. But we think Scoresby might have got up.
And if that is, it's
by 1 point, 11-3-69 to 9-14-68. Bad kicking's bad football, Brash.
Oh, they're coming on AFNL Sunday.
Action-packed schedule.
Yeah, it has to be done.
And it's great that there are upsets that that not everything goes to plan every week as us pundits sit here and make our predictions, Matt.
Well, so far so good. I reckon we were looking until that one, but we said on the podcast during the week, Brash, that, one of my bugbears this year has been the inaccurate kicking. That, only about 3 or 4 sides are probably on the positive side of that goals and behinds ledger, and it's hurt Warrandyte today. And Paul Donohue's a pretty impressive figure, and I'm sure the boys won't want to run into him either tonight or on the training track.
No, they won't. And, like you said, I think when you're below that 50% goal behind ratio, inevitably it leads to a loss, not a win.
Looks like Lilydale have got their first win, so that might be another one to get on EFNL Sunday. They're 12-9-81 to Upper Gully 7-11-53. That's bad for Upper Gully because...
Your old man will be happy.
I don't think he went down.
Oh.
I don't think he went down because he's had enough of watching them. He jumped off the Fairweather friend. And
the bar sales will be down there.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be trying to get the login for the Vimeo to upload it. It'll be him next to me and the coach going, "Where's the footage?" at midnight tonight.
That's a bit alarming for Upper Gully, who were a point up at one stage.
Well, 3 goals up early on, weren't they? So it's going to be a lot of teams getting their first win for the year. We're going to have a genuine discussion about tomorrow's show.
Neverland Store Player of the Day today. Of course, Jared Beanland chatted to Darcy Carrigan out on the field, and I have to agree with Jared. I believe he was the best player on the ground today for Coldstream, who did have a lot of contributors. Let's not face that, but it's always up to this. It's a democracy. It's up for a discussion until the dictator comes over and overrules it.
Cameron Shield for mine. That second quarter when the game was in Silvan's favour, he turned it on. 2 goals, 1 in that second quarter. Won a few clearances. He was an absolute live wire and probably could have kicked 8 goals. I think he kicked 3-5. Brash, you've got the stats in front of you there, mate. 3-5. That's pretty impressive for mine.
Yeah, but look, I'm looking. I'm going with Darcy Carrigan. I think his run through the midfield for most of the afternoon, he was able to create space when needed and topped it off with 3 lovely goals.
Yeah, okay. So does that...
Carrigan.
Well, we can go with Carrigan, but at the same time, with the Sportsco Play of the Day, he was on the end of and he kicked 3 goals. So we want to share that around?
Luckily for us, Jodie Murphy, who she'll be listening along, we already have an agreement. The Sportsco Award is given out at the end of the week, voted by the fans on social media. So Darcy can have the Neverland Player of the Day.
Ah, very good, very good. Now, who gets goal of the day then?
Well, for mine, it's...
Tobin Brothers.
Well, I'd like to give it to a non-goal, Lockie Koga. From outside 50, it was a good effort. It wasn't a goal, but it was given one. So that's my controversial vote.
I would have said low, but you gave it to Bishop. You called it.
Do you want me to knock on the door at Silvan and go, by the way, who kicked that tumble punt in the last quarter? I'm going to go Koga's goal/non-goal from outside 50, Brad.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Sounds good.
There we go. So it's all in the family down at
And
Coldie.
his award today, thanks to Tobin Brothers.
Tobin Brothers, $50 Coles Mile gift voucher. Not as someone commented on Cole Vickers' photo last week, has he won a funeral plan, which I thought was pretty funny. It was pretty good gear. You have to sift through it sometimes, Bruce. You have to sift through it on Saturday nights, the social media comments, but that one was pretty good.
Yeah, and Rex Hunt, who's a big name for Tobin Brothers funerals, as part of his deal, he used to be looked after when he kicks the bucket.
Yeah,
100%. You haven't heard Rex say that 400,000 times?
Funnily enough, Rex doesn't. I'm not really a big Rex fan when it comes to commentary, but he's probably before my time. He's been moved on in recent years, hasn't he, Rexy? So I guess Brash, it's a big show on EFNL Sunday tomorrow. If you're preparing yourself for that, 10 a.m. on the SEN app under the EFNL logo or Fanatic.
Yeah.
But for you, mate, what's something you're looking forward to us talking about tomorrow?
I'm actually looking forward to you talking to 3 new coaches, right, that are going to give us some unique perspective on why their sides won their first games yesterday.
I think we might be getting a
final score from Croydon and Park Orchards today, and it's a massive win to Croydon. 16 goals, 9, 105 to 9, 13, 67. A 38-point win today to Croydon, which old mate Peter Muscat, the assistant coach down there, is calling it an easy win as well.
Well, that's a fairly
easy win. But looks that way too.
Well, they're building.
They're a good side. Don't you worry about that.
So that, as we said, that leaves Mooroolbark clear 4-0, and it looks like Croydon might be just building nicely. So look forward to that in a couple of weeks. And of course, we're waiting.
Lock it in now. Yeah.
Oh, it's done. Yeah. The only one we're unsure about is next week, and that's going to be decided tonight by the Basin and South Belgrave. I've already said the winner. That's where we're going next week.
And also, we've got another big Division 1 clash tonight. Bayswater playing East Ringwood.
Well, if Bayswater lose, they'll be down the bottom with Upper Gully.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have thought that, would you?
No, absolutely not. So, as we edge closer, it's been a great day out here, hasn't it, BWS?
I love it out here. They don't have a burger out here. They haven't for quite some time, but
we'll get on to Tarzi.
It's no, I love coming out to this ground. How could you not? How about the boys on the boundary line as well today, doing a great job?
Fantastic stuff, Ryan and Jared. Really easing their role, and both of them appeared on halftime show, Brash, and Ryan appeared on pre-game for a debut. So great stuff from those two gents, wasn't it?
My oath it was.
Well, we're about to wrap up things here out at Hayley Supple Reserve. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast this afternoon across the SEN app and, of course, 98.1 Radio Eastern. We'll be back tomorrow morning with EFNL Sunday and some big scores to go through, some great guests as well. Hope your team won the footy today. If not, there is always next week. Enjoy your Saturday night and tune in, don't forget, tomorrow morning. Signing off out here, it's been the EFNL commentary team today. Wayne Brasher, Matt Fodia, Jared Beanland and Ryan Long. Thanks to Bruce Press from the Loft Productions. Thank you, Giggles. And, of course, Leroy Green, LKLM Media, the best in the business. We'll do it all again next week, and we can't wait.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, sounding good. Good show. All good in the end.